This conference will now be recorded.
So meanwhile, I'll just introduce myself. So I have a total of 18 plus years of my experiences, and I'm working as in one of the MNC. So I'm providing a training for SAP PS, PPM, CPM along with the SEO models. So this is my basic introduction. So could you please introduce Mohan or Venu?
I'm basically a PS end user. I'm working with some infra company in Hyderabad. Basically, my company is going to implement EPPM. So I have to, I'm the one of the main stakeholder of that implementation. Okay. So
Okay,
I need to, yeah, I need to understand because as a PS user, I know how PS it will work. And so from the EPPM side, I need to understand yeah how things will happen, okay, what are the integration points, and what way it is going to connect with the project systems, how resource management is
okay,
going to happen, okay, how portfolio is going to happen.
okay, okay. Yeah. So yesterday
Hi,
we have discussed with, yes.
hi everybody. This is Mohan, PS consultant, currently working for an oil and gas company. Would like to enhance my EPPM skills apart from PS. That's the whole idea of attending for this class.
Thank you, Mohan. So let
మధు
me
మధు
share my.
ఇప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఈ ఈ కోర్స్ లో మీరు బిజినెస్ బ్లూ ప్రింట్ కూడా ఇస్తారా ఒక శాంపుల్,
Uh,
ఒక ప్రజెంటేషన్,
Hello.
బిజినెస్ బ్లూ ప్రింట్ ఈ రెండు ఇస్తారా మనకి?
Um, can you speak on English? I don't know
అచ్చా,
much of Telugu.
you are not from Telugu?
No, I based out from the Pune.
Okay. No. What I'm trying to say is, are you going to deliver BBP and one presentation on EPPM as part of this course?
BBP. No, BBP we are not going to share any BBP because that are the confidentials, right? So we will tell you what are the things and all. BBP is on a confidential things, right? Any, I cannot
No, we
share
would
the
like to.
my.
No, that's fine. At least we would like to understand how the
Uh,
things will be captured on the BBP because we have to write a BBP, right? So we need to understand
okay.
from how BBP
That
looks like,
we'll
what
discuss.
information you can write it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
And
share you those dummy things. Yes.
yeah, what about the presentation, EPPM presentation?
Presentation in the sense like PPTs
Mm,
you're
mm,
saying
mm.
or any.
Yeah, PPT, not like the detailed one, at least at high level one you could deliver, right?
Yes, that we
Yeah.
will share with you, including that
Okay.
config documents and everything will be there attached into that.
Yeah,
In the
yeah, config
what is
document,
it?
BBP. Yeah, exactly.
That we
Oh,
have all this.
okay.
Okay. So before come to the EPPM, okay. First of all, we need to discuss the. Just assume like if you do not have a portfolio project management into your organization, then what will be going to happen, right? So first of all, because every organization, as per my knowledge and understanding, every organization they will go with the PPM. It might be Oracle, it might be SAP, it might be any non-SAP tools, or maybe an Excel. But every organization they will maintain their portfolio managements, right? So just assume like if you do not have a portfolio management into your organization for any kind of any services, what will going to happen, like stakeholders will be mess with the other departments, okay, and every time they have to coordinate with the other departments and they will get all the informations. Okay, after that they will do all those things, then they will put into everything into their Excel kind of an format where they're going to maintain the all those kind of things. So what will go to happen, it will create a lot of mess and it will be maintaining all those things, it is a bit complex. So for that reason, at least any organizations, okay, they should go with the any sort of an ERP. It may be an SAP ERP, it may be in a non-SAP ERP. There the portfolio management should be there. Okay. So now just assume what is the SAP EPPM, and if you're going to compare with the Oracle EPPM or maybe Microsoft portfolio and project management, what is the advantage over here, that we're going to discuss. So what exactly the EPPM? EPPM is a one business suite. Okay, under the EPPM we have a 5 different modules. One is a project systems, another one is a portfolio project management, then we have a CPM, commercial project management, then we have a innovation management, and the ECP connectors, right? So based on this, as per the your business requirement, we'll take a license. So if you're taking the licenses of EPPM, under the PS, PPM and CPM, these 3 models will get covered. Apart from that, if you wanted the innovation management or EPC connector, then you have to pay the extra licenses for that. So EPC connector is nothing but like if you wanted to integrate with any third party project management tool, say like maybe a your Primavera or maybe MS Projects or any project management tool. If you want, you can integrate from that. Apart from that, like if you wanted to, if you have already a CPI or a BTP connections, from that also directly you can integrate with the any third party project management tool. So that is not an mandatory like you have to purchase all these 5 modules license, but by default you will get these 3 modules like PPM, CPM and PS module. So initially like PS module was covered under the PLM tool in ECC, but if you come to the S4HANA, it is a part of EPPM. And from 2025 onwards, so all three models like PS, PPM and CPM is a part of this core EPPM. Okay. So if you integrating, okay, earlier like in ECC we have an RFC connection because the SAP server is keeping a different box and this portfolio management is keeping into a different box. So for that, if you wanted to communicate with these 2 servers, right, or 2 boxes, then you need a RFC connections and all. But in S4 HANA, so by default you will get all these 3 modules as an activated like PS, PPM and CPM. In this we are not going to record any RFC connection for that. So whatever the transaction you're going to do, the business transactions, okay, once you get transfer from either from PS to PPM or maybe PPM to CPM, on real time you will get all this data into the single dashboards. Okay, that's the called, it is called as a single source of a truth. So one dashboards will be there. Under the dashboards you will come to see how many types of a financial relevant plannings you made in terms of cost, revenue, budgetings, along with the actual postings like in terms of cost or revenue. Okay, integration with either a PS or a CPM models. Okay, so in under the one single source of a truth you will get all this relevant data. Okay, it can be integrated as I said, like as per the your business requirement, we have a different type of functionalities. Okay, in earlier version like 2021 versions, we have any things like you have to integrate either if you have any Microsoft projects or maybe Primavera projects. For that you need at least a PS or a CPM model to be integrated. Then only you can integrate with the third party, say like MS projects or maybe a Primavera. But from 2023 onwards, Service Pack 2, okay, from that onwards, you can directly integrate your third party tools like maybe a Primavera or MS projects to directly integrate on that. Apart from this, you can also directly integrate with the any other model, say like an FICO, like your internal orders, or maybe PP models, or maybe PM models, okay, or maybe PLM models. Okay, these are also you can directly integrate with this your business functionality against to this portfolio managements. Okay, so interactive, like you can real time data you can get as a project analytics. Okay, so there are some project analytical apps we have. From that you can get the all these kind of details. Okay, and it is a role based. Okay, so kind of an ACLs we have. Okay, so based on that you can do this, and whatever the other functionalities, say like in a resource plannings and all, that is also based on the our role based on. In PS we don't have a concept like whenever you try to do the any capacity plannings or any resource plannings, there we don't have any role based. So in upcoming slide I'll tell you what exactly the role based. Okay, the same wise the role based functionalities can be integrated with the your any other tools, maybe MRS tools or maybe the project resource management tools, or in any other third party tools if you have there, you managing the role based resource planning. If you go to the Primavera, they will do all these role based access and along with their capacity planning. So these kind of sort of planning can be transferred to the third party systems also. So this is all based on your business requirements. As per the your business requirement, you can do this. Any doubt on this first slide? Hello,
It's
am I
clear,
audible?
Madhu. Yeah, it's clear. Yeah.
Okay, as we said, like we have a five different models like portfolio managements, then commercial project management, project systems, innovation management, and ECP connectors. So in this course, we will going to discuss what is a portfolio and project management. Okay. So in this portfolio and project management, we will go and cover in details with the what is a portfolio management and integration with the other models like FICO, PP, okay, or maybe PLM. Okay, apart from that, we're going to discuss in detail with the project management. In this, your C projects will be covered in details and integration with the PS model. So whenever you're going to create any portfolio projects, okay, based on their approvals and all, the system will automatically create either a C projects or a PS projects. So that is a part of our course of as and is come under the project management. So now we will discuss what exactly
What about this resource management, Madhu?
so it is a part of C projects only.
So
Under that
you're going to cover the scenarios of resource management.
resource management. Yes, it is a part of our C projects only.
Okay.
Okay, whatever the capacity plannings we try to do in portfolio management, that will get transferred to C projects. Okay, so any in layman terminologies, any idea about the what is a portfolio management?
It's a collection of projects, right? Portfolio means collection of projects or collection of proposals.
Okay,
It's a proposal management. Huh?
okay,
How can you manage the group of proposals or group of projects, something like that?
correct. Somehow it is correct, but if you go to the portfolio management, so portfolio management is a process of balancing the risk against the performance, right? For suppose like if you wanted to invest some money into some portfolio, say like if you mutual funds, if you wanted to invest, right? So what exactly you will do? First you will check whether the fund managers along with the fund categories and all. So first you'll try to understand if you're going to invest my money into these kind of portfolios, right, or in this kind of mutual funds, so whether it's correct or not. So you will check all those ifs and checks buts and all, right? So that is come under your risk assessments and all, and based on that you will check whether if I'm going to invest my money into for the maybe 1 year or 3 years or 5 years. So what will be my ROI, return on investments? So if you check, like maybe there's some mutual funds is not performing well, then why should I going to invest my money into these kind of funds, or maybe this kind of portfolio? So it is in a process of balancing your risk against the performance of those assets. It can be any type of, it can be a project is going to also be treated as an assets only in our portfolio managements. Okay, so based on that, your approval process, your thorough checks and each and everything based on the risk assessments in terms of your financial risk along with the technical risk and all other risk parameters also you can add. I'm just giving an example. Based on that only you will say, okay, whether I have to proceed this project or not. Correct, right? Otherwise, why should I going to invest my money or my resources or my time into these kind of projects if I'm not getting the return on investments of these kind of projects? Or maybe if I'm going to develop the any uh, assets, say like any building kind of an assets, if I'm going to do so, I have to invest my money into for maybe 3 4 years of a times. So what I'm going to achieve from that, if I'm going to invest my money into this kind of projects or that assets, what I'm going to achieve, what is my goal, what is my objective on that? So these are all going to perform under this portfolio management. So portfolio management based on the some tools, it will go in tools and techniques. It will tell you whether you need to proceed these kind of projects or not. Maybe ongoing projects or maybe upcoming projects, or maybe you took the some sort of initiatives of some projects. Okay, maybe some product has already been launched. Okay, but due to there is a not much performing that into the market. Okay, or maybe that machinery is whatever the operational machinery is going on, it's is taking it too much time to produce some kind of product. So you took the some sort of initiatives and you presented your ideas to your stakeholders, and you're saying, okay, if you reduce these kind of things, or maybe you introducing this kind of a new machineries or maybe some new resources, then it will going to reduce our timelines, and it will going to increase our return on investments. Okay, so it will give the more productivities and all. So all these kind of things can be managed. This kind of some tools and techniques we have, based on the system will tell you whether I have to proceed these projects or not. So that's the reason we need a portfolio and project management, right? So what exactly this SAP portfolio and project management will? So it will align your portfolio with your corporate goals. Okay, it will give you again visibilities in real times of the project cost, staffing, schedulings. Okay, and it will provide you the results. Okay, so it has every portfolio management will have a gates concepts. Okay, so we have a called as a stage gate process. So stages is nothing but your WBSS or phases. In C project we called as in a phase, and PS projects we called as in a WBS. But in reality, if you go, what will the people will do? Entire projects can get released automatically, or maybe manually they will release all this kind of a project in one shot. But in reality, it should not be happen. Everything should go with the phase manner. Maybe first phase you have facing when you not faces some challenges, but second phase onwards you might be facing some challenges, right? So in that case, every phases has to link to the gate. So in the gate you have to decide whether I have to proceed these phases or not. I'll give you just an example. Maybe initially you thought 10 millions of my project. Okay, and you already started the projects. Okay, stakeholder has given the budget to you and you already started the project. Maybe on a second stage or a third stage you came to understand, instead of this 10 millions, might be to go to another 5 6 million extra. So in that case, whether I have to proceed on this project or not, then stakeholder must be decide. So there are some tools and techniques we need to apply into this. Based on that, system will propose you whether I have to propose, whether I have to go or not, because based on my capital expenditures of those projects, system will tell you these are the risk assessments. Based on that review assessment, based on the what if analysis, system will tell you whether I have to proceed or not. So under the stage gate process, we need to decide whether I have to go with the next gate or not. Right? If I say okay, my second gate has been approved, now I'll go to the third gate. Third gate, there are some assessments will be there. Once you done that assessment along with the checks, along with the risk assessments and all, then okay, I'll say okay, I'll proceed to the next gate. Otherwise, I'll stop into that itself only. I may going to hold that project, or maybe I'll close the projects. I'll book into the loss, and then I'll say, okay, this is a loss projects. We cannot proceed this kind of a customer in future, or maybe we cannot proceed the this kind of a projects into upcoming any projects. So no, whenever I will get this kind of an projects in future, so I will take a reference of this. Then I'll say, okay, I'll may not be experience of these kind of projects. So like that. So it is come under the all the stage gate process, and there is a some measurement techniques. So ongoing projects we have some KPIs. Based on that we'll do the some measurements. Okay, and based on that you will say whether I have to proceed with the next phase or not. So phases is nothing but a WBSS. It may be level 2 WBS or a level 3 WBS or maybe level 1 WBSS. Okay, then we can assign, deploy, redeploy. Okay, and we can do also forecasting for the resources based on their qualifications. Okay, and strategies based on their priorities. Okay, so every projects as per the business requirement, it is in a complex. Okay, whatever the data you're going to enter into those kind of projects, as per the business requirement, you have to select those kind of resources. So resources can be, it can be human resources, it can be machineries, or it can be any materials and all. So it is as per the your requirement you have to decide. Any doubt, any concerns on this slide?
Madhu, here
Hmm.
you're talking about the stage gates, right?
Yes,
These stage gates are belongs to portfolio item or a project?
portfolio items, portfolio items
Okay,
and initiatives.
okay. So now, so for example, can you just give me the examples of the stage gate, and at what level
Okay.
you are going to trigger the project in the PS?
So for suppose like if it's a kind of an IT services projects. Okay.
Mm.
So in this first is in my kickoff phase, BBB phase, realization phase, explore phase, realization phase. Then we have a deploy phase, right? So like that for the kickoff phase, maybe I have took the some sort of an documentations and all and presented to the stakeholders. Okay, presented. Then they said okay, fine, no issue. Then you proceed with the next case. They approved. Okay, everything they have, because first phase is the kickoff phase only. Now I have in the concept design phase. In the concept design phase, I have to present the all my financial relevant activities. Okay, what is my return on investments, what are the my risk, each and everything I have to present. Then they said okay, fine, no issue. Now all the stakeholders, they have approved. Second gate also they have approved. So in the second gate you can trigger the one project. Okay, that is up to the
O-
business on which gate you want. Maybe first gate also system will provide you. By default, you will get the first gate itself only. But if you say no, maybe third stage or maybe fourth stage I want to trigger the one project. In that case, you have to do the some small enhancements for that. As a standard,
Okay.
from first gate
Mm.
itself only you will get it.
Okay, at any stage you can trigger the project.
Hmm. So if you
Okay.
say no, after the third stage only the project should be created, then there is a small enhancement for that. So based on that, system will trigger that. If you say no, from first gate itself only, the moment I save the item or initiatives, then system
Mm.
can create a one either a C projects or maybe a PS projects.
Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it depend on the business to business, case to cases, because sometimes
So
you might
so
have a
once a project has been created, then again you are going to continue with the stage gates, the remaining stage gates.
remain stage gates also we have to proceed. That's what I said, right? So initially first
Mm.
two gates projects has been created and you already started the executions, right?
Okay.
Maybe on the
Mm.
third gate or fourth gate you facing some challenges. You need an
Mm.
extra budget. Okay, I'm just giving an
Mm.
example. So the
Mm.
stakeholders may not agree.
Okay, okay.
So you
Mm-hmm.
have to either hold the project or you have to close the projects.
Okay, okay. So ultimately, so from the stage gates, you are controlling the portfolio item, and the execution side, you are working on the PS projects.
It may be PS projects or a C projects or maybe any Primavera,
Anything,
any
primary,
kind of
correct,
an
correct.
any kind of any projects.
Okay,
It may be CPM projects.
okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, so this is a very high level one of the structure. Okay, so how it is going to looks like. So this is first is called in a portfolio. It is called in a strategics. Okay, under the portfolio you might have a different buckets. Okay, so just assume it might be a capex projects kind of in bucket. This might be in a opex kind of in a bucket. This might be a any customer billable kind of in a projects. Okay, kind of in a bucket. Under that also, if you want, you can create a different structure. So this is a hierarchical structure of the your bucket level. Under this bucket level, you can integrate initiatives or items. So items can be two types. Item can be directly integrate to your portfolio bucket level, or maybe under the initiatives. So what is the initiatives? As I said, like any R&D kind of an activities if you want to do, or any side of kind of an investment kind of in projects, then we try to go with these initiatives. It is initiatives is also are treated as an a projects, or it sometimes it can be treated as an a programs. Okay, even the buckets is also be treated as in a programs only, but this initiatives is also called as in a programs. So under the initiative you might have a multiple items. So item is a last level of the portfolio project. So the portfolio items can be integrated directly with either initiatives of those buckets, or maybe directly under this kind of an buckets. So it is up to the business what kind of an initiative you are going to take, okay, and what kind of an item you want to do gives. So generally we use the initiatives for the any R&D kind of an activities, okay. So for that, I took the some kind of an initiatives and I'll present to the my stakeholders. If stakeholder is approving, then I will going to create a one operational projects. So
Can you
under
give me
that
example? Can you give me the example for
R&D kind of
initiatives?
R&D, any kind of an R&Ds or initiative. That's what I said you like last time.
Mm-hmm.
If the product ongoing, some product is going on, okay,
Mm.
and it's taking some delay into that. So you
No,
are
no,
the
no, no.
product manager.
My question is, how
Mm.
can you differentiate a portfolio item from the portfolio initiative?
That is what I'm saying. So there is some process, ongoing process is going on, and it's taking a
Mm.
much longer time to produce that
Mm.
activities or producing that product. So you are
Mm.
the product manager. You took the some initiatives to change that process.
Okay.
Okay, correct. You took the some processes and you demonstrating the processes into your stakeholders, and you saying if you implementing these are the different machineries. Just assume maybe some there is a some CNC machineries was there, that is the old technologies, okay. So now you're saying instead of that CNC machineries, if you are adapting the new technology CNC machineries and all, and you tell them that these are the other products and all, and that for that we need some extra production line into this. Okay, but if you try to implement within a 6 months and all, so it will give me some extra edge on that. So instead of going to producing this maybe a 30 or a 40 hours, that timelines can be reduced to 24 hours. So for that, I needed this kind of resources and all. If stakeholder is approving those resources, it can be machineries, it can be humans, whatever it may be. So based on that, you are adopting those things. Or if you come to the any other things, maybe like no, your organization is dealing with the SAP. Okay, some models has been already implemented. Now you are thinking like that, instead of going to the SAC tool or maybe some other tool, so I can go with this Microsoft Lumira applications. Okay, so Microsoft Lumira applications is some of the part of SAP only now. Okay, so if you're going to integrate with this one with the help of BTP platforms and all, so you will get this kind of reports and all, and we are saving our times. So like this kind of multiple initiatives are there, right?
Okay, got it, Madhu. Go ahead.
Okay. So items is a one, like might be you already work this kind of projects, or maybe there is some ongoing projects was there. So based on that, you going to create a items. So item based on that, you will do perform all the your risk assessments in terms of your financial plannings, in terms of your capacity plannings, in terms of schedulings and all, and you will get some technicals. So it can be technical risk, it can be a financial risk. Based on that, you're going to execute the your projects.
Madhu,
Okay. Yes.
Mohan here. So, suppose if you are going by these initiatives
Hmm.
or maybe the items, so what is the basic difference from a reporting point of view or like a monitoring point of view? What is the best we should suggest? For example, as you said, in nature it is same, but in SAP terminology wise, as a consultant, I can take it as an initiative or an item. So from technical perspective, what is the difference between these two, either from reporting point of view or a monitoring point of view or a risk assessment, what you said right now?
Initiative is a, you can treat it as in one sort of a program. Under the program, you might have a multiple projects. For suppose like if it is in a car, I'm just giving you an example. Maybe you take in a Tata cars. Okay, so under the Tata cars, I will take a body is a one project. My engine is another projects. Electrical equipments and all is another projects. Okay, that is all are the R&D projects only. So I'm going to combine all these things into one initiative projects. So every gate in the initiatives, one projects was there, which the projects is linked to all your items. So under the items, directly you can integrate with either a C projects or a PS projects. If it is a larger scale of a R&D kind of an activities, I mean to say. If the small scale of R&D is there, then either you can create a initiatives or maybe an item.
See, this word called initiative normally will be used in government sectors basically. See, first of all, let's say government wanted to use ethanol uh, as part of the blending part into the petrol, for example. And then they take it as that as an initiative or education programs, something like that they created, but that will have a larger monitoring perspective rather than micromanagement. So
Correct. So
it's
that's what
falling
I give
under
an
that category.
example.
Yeah.
It is all will be treated under the, if you came to the capex kind of an projects, right, or R&D kind of an activities, then I'll go with the initiatives. Otherwise, directly I'll go with the items. because
See,
I'm not going to
I'm
generate
just going.
any.
I'm just going one step back. See, when
Okay.
you say about buckets, so we
Hmm.
have already having buckets like capex, opex, and customer projects, for example. And
Correct.
again, in within that, you wanted to, let's say, have some enhancements for the existing capex projects or opex projects or something like that. We wanted to do that, or we can skip
Yes.
this initiative and directly go for this item.
We can go with direct items also, because in looks like it is the same only, but items has an advantage, like you can link with the C projects or a PS projects. But initiative you have to link only the C projects. You cannot link with the
Ah,
PS projects.
that's what I wanted to say. So that's what. See, initiatives
Hmm.
cannot have a like execution kind of environment. So thereby you can't get a detailed level reporting because there is no execution part for the
No,
initiatives,
execution
as you
part is
said.
also there, but that is
Uh-huh.
linked to the C projects. Okay,
Uh-huh.
from C projects further you can link to the PS projects also.
Hmm.
Okay, execution is there. Execution is also there in the items as well as the initiatives. But initiatives, as I said, right? So car manufacturing companies, if you're trying to take, so I'm creating. I'm not going to create a bucket for the car kind of things. Instead of that, I'll create a one initiative. Okay, under the initiatives, I'll segregate to the different projects. So one is my body shopping is one project. Okay, because as you can see, I'm just giving an example, like Tata Tiago has a different platform, Tata Harrier has a different platform, Tata sorry, Punch has a different platforms, right? So this is all come under my body shopping, correct? So this I'll take it as a different projects which I'm going to link to the one stage. Then I'll say engine is a different, like turbo engines you required or a normal engines you required, or this is like with CNG required, without CNG is required. So I'll take it another stage into that. Then I'll go with the some sort of um, any electrical equipments or instrumentation equipments and all. So like this now I will create a one program. The program is itself is a car. Okay, the it's called as an initiatives only. Then under that I will perform the different projects, small projects into that. Then I'll combine all this into the one initiatives. Okay, then I will present to the my stakeholders. If I'm going to take it this car into manufacturing and assemblies and all, I need all these kind of things, right? It is come under the R&D activities only. I'm not saying like execution projects. It's come all the R&D activities. Then if stakeholder is approving, then we can proceed further. Right?
Okay.
Maybe
If
you
that is the
already
case,
you,
if that is the case from the initiatives, if you move on to C projects, again we have PS also there in case. So what is the advantage of having with C projects?
I'll show you what exactly the advantage in the C projects. Okay, what is the advantage on the PS projects?
Hmm.
Hmm. So in details we're going to discuss, but upcoming one slide we have that there I'm going to tell you what is the C projects and the PS projects. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So under this, you decided either to go with either a PS projects or C projects, maybe this is items. Okay, just assume you created a one PS projects. Okay, based on the sort of templates and all, and you created all this structure. And now, if you wanted to further integrate with the any third party, maybe MS projects or maybe Primavera, you can integrate with the PS projects, or this MS projects or a Primavera directly you can integrate with the items. Okay, in
Okay.
2025 version onward, directly you can integrate with this items only. You cannot integrate with the initiatives, but item you can directly integrate either a MS projects or a your Primavera projects.
Okay.
Madhu, one more
Yes,
thing. What is the difference between C projects and PS projects? What is the purpose, main purpose?
we'll discuss in upcoming slides. We'll discuss.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so this is a one portfolio structure project level. Okay, so I'm just taking an example of a real estate. So real estate is one of the portfolio. Under that I have a two different buckets. One is a commercial bucket, another one is a residential buckets, right? So under the commercial buckets, again I am distributing retail buckets in the office space. Similarly here is also villas or apartments. So might be it, some of the things might be a R&D kind of an activity, some of the things may be ongoing projects or maybe upcoming projects and all. So as per the my business requirement, I'm going to distribute all those things. The majority of this, what exactly I am doing on this projects, I am checking the feasibilities. Okay, in terms of a technical commercials. If everything is okay, then I will initiate the projects. Okay, then if even though after that if detail level planning is required in terms of maybe a C projects or a PS projects, after that I will do all this kind of a planning, then I'll start the executions into this. Okay, so this is the what
Here,
we are trying to
here
do
the
into
planning in the sense, is it a cost planning kind of thing or?
cost planning, revenue plannings, bucket sorry your budget plannings, forecastings, or you're going to do in this item level itself only.
Mhm.
Okay, then we will transfer that planning into the PS projects. So it will go to the either a CJ40 or maybe the your easy cost plannings, or vice versa. Like you can also from PS also you do the your cost plannings. Okay, then that can be transferred back to your uh, items or
Item.
yeah items.
Mhm.
And will it go back to the bucket level, the cost
Yes, yes,
planning?
everything will be roll up because bucket is under the bucket you might have a multiple projects, right? Every projects, whatever the
Okay.
items level, that will be roll
Mm-hmm.
up automatically to the bucket level.
Okay. Okay. So basically, what is the best practice as per SAP delivery? The cost planning will happen
Cost
at a
planning must be happened in the portfolio item level itself only. After
okay,
that, you will going to transfer back to the PS projects. But
PS part.
some,
Okay.
I have also seen some ETO processes where it is a bit complex. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
in that case, both vice versa we try to do because
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. But how about budget? Budget also you do it on the portfolio level or project
portfolio
level?
level only. No, portfolio level. Approved budget can be
Uh,
transferred to the your PS projects.
okay.
Okay, so these are the main components of the SAP portfolio and project management. So it is in a, as I said, like it is in a decisions based point. So you're going to create a different stage gates. Okay, under the stage gates you're going to define whether it should be the initiatives or maybe items. So initiative might have a different stage gate process, item might have a different stage gate process. It can be 1 3 5 6 4 3. So as per the your business requirement you're going to create a different stages. Okay, and those going sorry gates, and that can be linked to your projects. Then we have a this financial plannings. Okay, the financial plannings can be done into the your portfolio bucket level, items level, as well as the initiative levels. Okay, then we can do the questionnaires. Okay, questionnaire and scoring model is a part of our risk assessments. It can be done only the items or initiative, it cannot be done on a bucket levels. Okay, so whatever the risk assessment you try to perform, either it can be done in the initiatives or items only. Then we have a KPIs, two different KPIs matrix we have that has to perform under the initiatives or item levels only. We cannot perform into the bucket level. Then we have a document management. Okay, so if it is a small document, then directly you can integrate either initiatives, items, or maybe a portfolio bucket level. Okay, if it is a larger documents and all, then you should integrate with the SAP DMS management or maybe any other document management systems, maybe third party also. Then we have a role based access, kind of in a ACLs we have access control list. Okay, so in that we can define like it may be admin activities or maybe you can perform the read and write activities. Okay, as per that you can define. And the same roles can be transferred to the your CPM projects as well as the PS projects for the KPI, sorry, for the ACL point of view. But apart from this, in this role kind of things, we can also do on the capacity management. So in the capacity management, there is some roles we need to configure. For suppose you might be a project manager role, you might be solution architect role, you might be any consultant roles. So those kind of roles can be transferred to the only C projects. Or if you integrating with the any project resource management tool or maybe MRS, from that you can also transfer. In PS we don't have that kind of functionalities, so we cannot transfer those things.
Okay, Madhu,
Yes.
one second. If you look at above this circle, this business process flow, the risk management is part of PPM or CPM?
PPM.
Okay, risk
CPM
management.
is a CPM is a different tool, right? Like a PS, it
Okay,
is a different tool.
okay. So where you do the risk management?
It is under the PPM only, Portfolio and Project
Okay,
Management.
no, no. In the PPM, are you going to do it on the initiatives or items or projects?
Items only.
Only items, not an.
Items, initiatives also you can do. It is
Okay,
applicable to the both items as an initiatives. So wherever
okay,
it is required, you can do it. But bucket level
okay.
we cannot perform.
Bucket level, you cannot have the capability. Okay, okay.
Yes,
Mhm. Okay,
that is not a standard functionalities. Only we have a items level or initiative levels only.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, so typically we have a five different kind of roles. Okay, one is your portfolio administrator. So his role is to create a portfolio, then he'll create a structure. Okay, he'll create a resource pools as per the business requirements and all, or the project requirements. Then he will configure some dashboards and all. Okay, apart from that there is a second role that is called a portfolio manager. So these kind of managers will be monitoring those kind of dashboards. Okay, then he will analyze those portfolios, whatever the portfolio you might have. So one organization may create a multiple portfolios. Okay, it's up to the business. But as for the standard SAP, we try to, as I have worked, multiple instead of multiple portfolio, we created only one portfolio. Under the portfolio, we might have a different buckets and all. But if you wanted to create a different portfolio, like if you go to the banking industries, so banking industries may not follow the only one portfolio. Instead of that, they might create a different portfolios. Okay, but if you go to process industries or in professional service kind of an industries, they might go with the only one portfolio structure. So that's the reason he might have a different portfolios. So those portfolio he has to monitor and analyze. Okay, he will implement the strategic plannings into that. Then he'll create and review. So those kind of finance and all. Under that, he might create a items or initiatives. Okay, he might create, or maybe if he don't have an access, then the items or initiative managers will create, and they will do the all the monitoring of those items. Okay, under that they will upload the project relevant data. So project relevant data can be any schedule relevant activities, maybe capacity planning relevant activities, maybe financial relevant planning activities. Okay, either manually he has to do, or maybe integrated manual he can do, or maybe some standard Excels we have. Okay, from that Excel also you can upload this data. So up to the business or the projects how they want. So we have a multiple ways to do the financial plannings and the capacity plannings. So as per the business requirements, okay, he will perform these activities. Then we have a resource manager. So resource manager, he will do the whatever the resource pool has been created by the project administrator or maybe item manager or maybe portfolio. He has to fulfill those requirements. Okay, that is a part of our portfolio item level, initiative level, as well as our C projects. Okay, so these are the some standard roles we have. As per the roles, we can distribute those tasks against to respective stakeholders. Okay, so what is exactly the bucket? So bucket is basically a kind of a group of programs. Okay, under the group of programs, you're going to create a multiple initiatives or maybe items. So bucket has a one external ID. It will also has some statuses. You can create some administrative data. Okay, under that you can also perform the financial plannings as well as the capacity plannings. So in the financial planning, majority cases we try to perform the budgeting relevant activities. Okay, apart from that, all the lower level, whatever the initiatives or maybe items you have created, that will be roll up to the this financial and capacity levels. Okay, so majority I have seen as in a bucket layer, sorry, what are the budget relevant activities that I'm going to perform over here. Apart from that, we have also the functionality. You can also perform the capacity or a resource planning against the buckets. Okay.
Madhu, when we do the budgeting where at the bucket level, so what would be the basis like? Normally, if you look at from PS perspective, so the cost planning would be done, and then that would be the basis for the budgeting. But whereas
Correct.
when we are directly starting from the top at the bucket level, how do we do the budgeting, and what would be the basis like?
This is the
Like
annual
for example,
budgeting actually.
but how does that figure comes? Let's say these many millions. There should come to some conclusion means there should be some basis, right? Normally, organization will do in Excel file. That's
Correct.
it. So
Correct.
that Excel is nothing but a combination of multiple breakups, and then that is a summing of they will call as a this thing. But here, is it the same case? Means is it outside the SAP? Basis
No,
could be
it is
outside the
not
SAP.
SAP, outside of the SAP. It can be part of. There is a different ways to do that. So I'll give you my example. So one example, like no yearly budgeting. So I know ongoing projects. For the ongoing projects, I have to spend this much of an budget into this capex, opex, as well as the any customer billable projects, ongoing projects. Apart from that, I might have taken some initiatives,
Hmm.
right? So this initiatives also I need to put some budget into that, because if I have an 10 lakhs rupees into my pocket, right? So I know already my expenditure on ongoing projects may be 6 lakhs. So I have only the 4 lakhs. So whether I have to go with this 4 lakhs or not, that I have to decide. If I say okay, 4 lakhs I am giving to you, I'm going to put into either a capex projects or maybe opex projects or maybe any customer billable projects.
It's like a chicken and egg concept. Like for example, one company just like that will not create any budget with their resources. If they want it, if that budget, if the program demands or initiative demands, they will borrow the money from outside and funding into
Yes,
the particular initiative. It's not like I have
initiatives.
100 million and that 100 million I will give 50 to one initiative, another 25 to another. That distribution will not happen like that. It's like it's a typical PS concept. Like first you rebuild the entire WBS structure, and against each WBS element, you put the resources and activities and work or all these things. The system automatically calculates. Like so, summing up all these WBS elements would become like a cost plan. That cost plan, let's say, is 100 million. Out of that 100 million, they will bifurcate that into 4 years. Let's say that would become the budgeting. right? So that's what I'm trying to say. The basic basis means that way the calculating mechanism has to be there. Whereas when you are doing the financial planning at bucket level itself, bucket is a very vague high level thing. So how do they do the budgeting? That's what my question.
No,
Because you don't have any
Harish,
project by the time. You don't have any
correct.
project by
We
the
don't have
time.
any
You don't have
projects.
the breakup. You don't have the breakup unless otherwise you are using some uh, Excel file, something like that. Correct. So what is the
No,
source will be
not
there?
an Excel file. Might be you going to do an Excel file, or might be you are integrating with the SAC. I mean to say, like every organization perform the annual budgeting, right?
Yeah, that annual budget comes from some sources, right? It's not like a
No,
figure
not
will
only
not
the
come.
sources, not only from sources. Sources is a
Some
my
calculation
ongoing
methodology
projects,
will be there. Yeah. Yeah.
ongoing
No,
projects
for
which I
example,
have. If I
ongoing
have
means
ongoing
it's okay.
projects, so I know like further next year I have to spend this much of a budgets into these projects. That is the figure I know. But apart from that, if I have some extra money, whether I have to take it the ongoing projects or maybe upcoming projects which I don't know, maybe come, may not become. It is under the pipelines. I might require the resources for that. I might require this much of in a fund. So I'm just assuming maybe if coming these kind of projects, maybe in pipelines or something like that, I must put this kind of a budget into these projects. Some hypothetical, I'm giving an example. It's not an thing, but if you performing the any annual budgetings on the that particular company, so they will keep it like no whatever the ideal values into my these kind of projects. Apart from that, maybe some projects is coming, or maybe I've taken some initiatives, or maybe I'm going to take some sort of initiatives. For that also I needed some budget. If I don't have a budget, suddenly some project manager or VPs has came and they say, okay, we need to initiate these projects, or we need to start this kind of projects. Okay, it is came, but the higher management can say, "Okay, I don't have any budget for this financial years. Instead of that, we're going to start from the next financial years." Right, right.
Anyway, let's see it in the system then. See, it doesn't happen like that. See, generally, when you say it's a budget, means a figure. Figure means $9.6 million. 9.6, how the figure comes? There should be
See,
some
that is
basis.
a
That's what
cost
I'm trying to
planning
say.
that you saying the coming from the cost planning. That is a individual project point of view saying, right?
Correct. See, if some cost estimation is there, then only based on that, they will go to the management and ask, I need some, let's say, out of 9.6, you give me 5 million. Okay?
Okay,
5
okay,
million is good enough. Something like that. They will say that 10 million I want it. And out of that, they will say they put a markup on that. So that's how normally the calculation happens from the budgeting perspective. Whereas in this
correct.
case, when you are doing these financials at the bucket level, then what is SAP is giving a source, like is it file uploading kind of thing, or flat file or Excel file
Hi,
uploading? Based on that, it happens.
flat files. Anyways, we have an option directly you can upload. Okay, Excel
Or
file.
you
But I
directly
mean to
type it.
say, type it or manually also you can type it. You can upload it. But that is not the case. I'm saying the process wise, how you perform the annual budgeting. I'm just giving in another example. For suppose in this bucket, I have already given a some say like a 1 CR. Under the 1 CR, you already performing some projects and all. Now I suddenly came and I'll say to you, I need an extra budget, or maybe I have this kind of an initiatives and I want to start the projects. I have all my plannings, everything I have submitted to you, okay, or maybe the stakeholders, and the stakeholder decided we cannot approve this project because of we don't have a budget for this financial year. Instead of that, maybe next upcoming financial year we will look into this kind of an initiatives or maybe projects. Already whatever the budget I have already spent it. I don't have any budget to spend this kind of projects. So that is come under your annual budgetings. So that is part of a group of currencies, group of a your company codes and also every company code they will put some budgets and all, right? So that is part of your annual budgeting exercises. So that is what I mean to say, every sort of a things will come under this annual budgeting in terms of your bucket level. So bucket have a, you going to put some these kind of in a budget. Okay, this much of in a maximum budget only we can spend it. It may not be like entire projects you're going to spend entire budget into these financial year for these respective projects. So it can be integrated to the SAC, it can be integrated with the BTP, sorry, not BTP, what is that? BPC, sorry, BPC, or maybe you can directly upload the flat files, or maybe you have a group of ongoing projects is there, maybe some sort of initiatives you have taken, or maybe items you have done some cost plannings and all. So it will be roll up to the bucket level, and then you putting some bucket, some budget into that. That is also possible. So that is based on the some sources coming from your projects levels itself only. But I will say no, I don't know the your projects, ongoing projects or maybe upcoming projects and all, you whatever the planning you have been made, I don't know for that. I'll give you this much of a budget only. Instead of in this budget only you have to perform any new projects or maybe ongoing projects. This is also kind of a scenarios, right?
Hmm.
So in that case we will try to do the annual budgeting exercises into this bucket level. That's what I see. But there are the cases, ifs and buts. If they want, if they do not want like that, then from projects like initiatives or item level, you do the your cost plannings. That will be rolled up to the your bucket level.
Hmm.
Okay, then we have some sort of an authorizations and all. Okay, then we have some field configurations and all. So bucket is in a group of programs or a group of projects. Okay, there you can also perform the financial activities as well as the capacity plannings and all. But here you cannot perform the any risk assessments and all. Okay, the risk assessments can be performed by either items or initiative. And here we don't have any stage gate process. The stage gate process can be performed in the items or initiative levels only. So then we have a financial planning and the capacity plannings. Okay, so basically we have a different type of an plannings over here. So this is a kind of an one breakups. Okay, it can be done by the monthly based or a yearly based or a quarterly based or a half yearly based or maybe yearly based or maybe overall based. As per the your business requirement, you have to define the cost breakup structure. Okay, so it can be performed manually or a integrated manner. Integrated can be capacity wise. For suppose if you take in some project manager roles or maybe any senior consultant roles. So there they have some cost and revenue planning you have to do based on some activities and all. So automatically system will perform these financial plannings, or else through SSC also you can perform, or else you can integrate it with your PS objects or a CPM objects or maybe C projects. From that also you can perform the cost planning, and it will be automatically come this financial plannings over here. Or else we have another thing like there is some Excel file. From the Excel file also you can upload it. So once you upload this plannings and all, or you do the manual activities, right, or maybe integration with the your capacity plannings and all, whatever the cost plan you have, that cost plan will be further transferred to PS projects. Okay, from PS projects, all your cost planning, revenue planning, bucket, sorry, your budgetings, everything short will be transferred. Here also we have an option, approve one or all. So if you approving, that only will get transferred to your PS projects. If you say no, all can be transferred, all sort of planning, whatever the plannings you have been made based on the your cost breakup structure. Okay, then every sort of plannings will be get transferred to your PS projects. It's up to the business how they wanted to perform these activities. Okay, and whatever the actuals you are getting from the PS projects, maybe your items as anything like an actual cost or maybe an actual revenue, that will also can be reflected over here. So cost breakup structure you have to define. Okay, it can be a procurement levels, it can be your service levels, it can be resource management level, it can be travel expenses levels, it can be any overheads. So every sort of plannings you have to configure it so that it will be reflect like here. Okay, and based on that you can also perform the forecastings. Okay, so every sort of plannings will be rolled up to the items from item level. It will roll up to the initiative levels or maybe the bucket levels. Okay, it's up to the business how they wanted to do. It can because sometimes items may be linked directly to the bucket. Items can be linked to the initiatives. So if you're linking with the initiative, it will be roll up first to the initiative level, then automatically it will initiate to the bucket levels. If you say no directly, I wanted to integrate with the bucket level. So whatever the planning you have been made over here in terms of cost, revenue, and the budget level will be rolled up to the your bucket levels.
So the forecasting would be done at what level?
What level means? Item level only.
Bucket level, item level, or
No, no,
what?
item level only we try to do. Items or initiatives only we try to do. Bucket level also we can do. It's not a problem, but generally we try to perform into the items or initiatives only.
But again, this forecasting, they have to do it in the Excel spreadsheet and upload it, or else
No, 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 no.
automatically.
Automatically,
Uh,
we have to put some figures into this, so that system will propose you for based on that.
So end
no,
value
I didn't
management
get
and
it,
all these
mother.
things will be.
Sorry,
I didn't get it, mother.
you're saying something,
I didn't
Mohan,
get
or
it. This forecast,
based on the your input value,
Mohan.
right? Yes, please tell
No,
me.
no, no. What I'm trying to say is,
Hmm.
for example, let us say first month they've uploaded the budgeted figures. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Second month is also fine. Okay. Third month, now they wanted to do the forecasting. So
Hmm.
now this forecasting automatically, the calculations will happen inside the system, or else they have to do it outside the system on
No,
Excel spreadsheets.
inside the system only. Automatically will do. As you can see over here.
Mm.
Wait.
But our system will understand the forecasting values unless
See here,
somebody.
here, some planning values I have presented over here, right? As you can see for this
Mm,
month, I have given maybe this
mm.
month. After that, the fourth month, the system is getting calculating automatically. So it is a part of internal only. It is not part of an Excel.
So where do we
So
have
some
that forecasting functionality in item level?
item generally we try to perform the items or initiatives only, not on the bucket level.
Mm,
So we have
mm.
to do some basic configuration into this. So you have to link what are the plannings you wanted to link into these forecasting values. Based on that, system will perform the forecastings.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So what we hear, the forecasting means it's a typical end value management, right?
Yes. Yes.
Cost at completion, cost to be
Yes.
completed,
Yes.
and
Based
schedule
on that,
performance, schedule variance, cost variance. All
cost
these
varies.
comes into
Yes.
that, right?
Yes. Yes. Okay, similarly, we can perform the capacity planning. So here we are going to generate some demand. Okay, so like as per the your project requirement, so these are the folks and these many hours is required. Okay, so we don't know who are the folks, but we know the roles, like project managers is required these many hours or these many days is into these projects. Okay, similarly the other roles, as per that, whatever the configuration you have been made, according that system will give you this kind of a capacity groups. Okay, in this we have to just give the hours or maybe the days. So automatically based on that system will calculate, and based on this there is some cost and revenue plannings against the source roles. So those roles can be transferred back to here in the financial plannings if you doing the integrated manner. Okay, if you're not doing the integrated manner, then it will only generate a demand. Okay, how many days or how many hours is required for particularly these roles, and these roles further can be transferred to your C projects or maybe a MRS or maybe your project resource management tool, but it cannot transfer to our PS projects because PS project doesn't have any role specific kind of a things. In this case, C projects come into the picture. So whatever the resources you demand you are generating, or you need these many resources that can transfer back to your C projects, and the C projects you can identify who are those resources. Okay, based on the your resource pools and all, or based on the qualifications, you identify those resources and you can assign those resources to this demand. Okay, and that can be further integrate either a PS projects or directly you can integrate with the SAP cats. Okay, so the moment they book their timesheets, automatically it will be the actual postings will going to happen against to those objects, and it can be also linked to this items or a maybe the initiative with respect to the C projects. So that is the process. So it's up to the business how they wanted to perform. It's only for the demand managements only, or maybe if you're integrating with the either a PS projects or maybe any other kind of any CO objects. It can be any CO objects, right? It can be PS objects, it can be any internal orders, or it can be HR masters, or maybe it is a plant maintenance orders where you're going to book the your timesheets. So again, that CO objects, the time will get recorded. Okay, and the same way the cost will also get posted. So we have some assessments. Okay, so based on that assignments, we have to do the some questionnaires. So for technical activities, okay, or technical risk assessments, I have to perform the some questionnaires. So I have to provide some group of questionnaires, and every questions I have some weightages. Every questionnaires I might have a multiple answers for that. So I'm just giving an example. Maybe if resource plannings I'm trying to do. So my stakeholders might going to ask during the review meetings, did you require some extra resources? Do you require some contingencies of resources, or might be you require some budgets and all? So those kind of questions and those kind of an answers we need to provide. So every questions we have some weightage, every answers we have some weightage. Based on the system will perform the one scoring activities, and it will give you one score, and the score will be further linked to my risk analysis. Okay, whether it is a high risk or a low risk or a moderate risk. Based on that, you have to mean stakeholder has to decide whether I need to provide these resources, whether I have to provide the some any extra budget into that as per the risk assessments, or whether I have to uh, go or no go of these projects, or I have to hold these projects. So based on some tools and techniques we have, okay, the standard tools and techniques, as per that you have to perform your projects. It might be a ongoing projects, or it might be a your maybe you are initiating some projects. Okay, so before initiating the projects and also started the projects, you have to go this questionnaires and scoring model assignments. So based on that, system will trigger you what is my probability of technical success, what is my probability of commercial success. So commercial success is linked to all your financial aspects in terms of all your cost planning, revenue plannings, along with the actuals you have posted. According the system will tell you this is your financial risk, okay, and this is your um, technical risk. Okay, so this is a part of our, either it can be performed under the items or maybe initiatives only. Okay, so risk may be depend on the multiple projects. So if you take in the any program, okay, say like a initiative you are taking a one program, under that you have linked to the different items is nothing but my projects. Okay, so if you group all those things and you put the relationships like finish to start, start to finish to finish, like we have a relationships we have. Based on that also you can perform the dependencies risk, right? So as I given an example, like I have in some car assembling kind of an, some initiatives I have taken. Under that, maybe engine is a one projects, body shop is another projects, instrument is another projects, right? So all three are the my integrated manner only, and maybe in instrument may I may getting some different type of a risk, or maybe in engine specific I might getting a different type of a risk. So entire my that portfolio initiatives is a risk. So system will tell you whether I have to proceed or not. So it does also give you a dependencies risk. So if it is, if you have in that this kind of a scenarios, then you can also perform this kind of an dependency risk and all. And based on that, your measurement techniques will be applied, and then system will tell you whether I have to proceed or not. Then integration as a project management application, as I said, like we have a either a PS projects or a C projects. Okay, now the differentiation between the C projects and the PS projects is like in PS projects you can directly post the any actuals. Okay, but in C projects you cannot post the any actuals. In C projects, you can perform only resource relevant plannings and all. Apart from that, any other relevant activities, say like a PP relevant activities or a PM relevant activities or any quality managements or maybe internal orders and all. So you have to only link those objects, and respective again you have to go to those objects, CO objects, and you have to do those plannings into that. But in PS objects, we either we can integrate with the any PPM model or internal orders and all. Directly you can do the cost plannings and you can post the any financials over there, like any JV posting you have been made, or maybe any directly FI postings you have been made against to those WBSS or network activities. So it will show you like these is the postings has happened with these objects. But in C projects we don't have that kind of a functionalities. C projects I basically use for the scheduling relevant activities along with the resource plannings and all. Apart from that, I have not seen much advantage into the C projects because this is not any CO objects. It is just for the planning sake you can do. Further, if you wanted to post the any actuals, you have to link the CO object. That CO object may be PS, may be a internal orders, maybe PP orders, maybe PM orders, or maybe any quality managements, or maybe there are some other PLM objects and all, or maybe sales orders. Like that, you have to integrate further. Manually, you have to integrate this. Then, whatever the actual posting you are going to meet against that uh, projects, okay, it will going to show you. Right. So in PS we have a lot of advantage, like you can create a production orders, or maybe you can do the quotations, or maybe you can generating a sales orders, or maybe any purchase requisitions or a purchase orders kind of functionalities we have. But here we don't have such functionalities. So you have to integrate manually to those objects. Okay, also here we don't have any hierarchical manner. Say like in PS we have a parent child kind of a relationships in WBSS or in network activities. Here we don't have a such thing. It is kind of in a flat files. Okay, it will show you kind of in flat file there is some relationships between that. Okay, but it will show you a flat file. I'm not sure whether if you work with the any MS projects, there you can see it is in a kind of a flat files. In the flat file, you have to make a relationships. What is my my predecessor? What is my successor? Similarly, here also you have to do this kind of an activity. Who is my predecessor? Who is my successors? Right? And
But,
based on
but
that, you have to perform. Yeah, please.
for example, when we wanted to proceed with item with project, for example, the customer is not having the requirement of this C project.
Hmm.
So can we ignore C projects and can we
Yes,
directly trigger the PS project?
yes, we can link to the that PS projects.
No, it's not mandatory. C project is not
No,
mandatory.
no. But in if you're taking the
Oh,
initiatives, then C projects is a mandatory because by default C projects will get created. But in item you have a choice whether you can go with the C projects or a PS projects.
oh, for initiatives, it is a mandatory.
It is a mandatory. Automatically system will generate that C projects without any template.
Okay, 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 okay. I got it. That yeah. Mm.
Because initiatives is, as I said, like it is directly integrating with the C projects and it is purely using for any R&D kind of an activities. So in that I'll take this kind of a
Mm.
resource, and here resources is also human resources only, not any material kind of any plannings. If you try to do, then the C project will not support. For that you have to link to the any CO object.
Okay. For
Okay.
example, these C projects, do they have a master data kind of a templates, or else we
If
have
you
to
want,
set
you
up
can
manually?
create. No, if you want, you can create a templates and that can be integrated. Okay, but in
Mm.
initiatives, automatically your structure will get created. Whatever the stage
Okay.
gate is you're going to give, it a 3 gate or a 5 gate or a 6 gate, 7 gate, that many phases will automatically get created. Under that, if you want,
Okay.
you
You.
can add the new phases.
Mm-hmm.
But in if
Okay.
you
Okay.
integrating
Based
with the
upon the
item,
stage gate, it will. Mm.
but if you integrating with the item level with the C projects, in that case you will get an option as a templates. So you can create a templates and the templates can be linked to that items. Okay, if it is a 3 gate, then according the 3 gate phases will get created under that whatever the next level phase is and what are the task.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, task is nothing but a network activities. In PS we called as a network activities. In C projects we called as in a
Mm-hmm.
task. So that kind of a template you can
Okay.
create it and you can integrate with the items, but you cannot integrate the template in the initiatives.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so here we get some role based and all. So what are the demands has been generated from your item level or initiative levels that can be transferred to over here, and the role base you identifying those resources, and according that you are booking soft book or maybe hard book against to that task or maybe that phases. Okay, and you do the execution process. So the execution may be linked to your either a C projects, sorry, PS projects, or maybe the HR. So directly in the CATs, they will book their timesheets. So once they book the timesheets, then whatever the actuals has been posted, that will be come to first C project. From C project, it will reflect to your items or maybe initiatives. Okay, further also if you wanted to integrate with this any Microsoft projects, okay, from C projects also you can link, or else directly this Microsoft projects or any Primavera objects you have, directly also we can link to the portfolio items. Okay, so this is the integration at the high level integration point of view which I am telling. But when we come to the course level, I'll show you how the C projects can be integrated, how the PS projects can be integrated, what are the templates we have, how the projects will get generated automatically. Okay, so these are the some of the dashboards which we have. Okay, all are the Fury based dashboards only. So we don't have any key codes for this PPM. Okay, everything we have to manage from the Fury application only. And these Fury application is not completely like your ABAP based. It is in a web flow based. Your items, initiatives, or maybe whatever the UC projects has been created. It is a web flow based applications. Okay, that has been integrated your Furies and all. So it is not like your completely kind of an Fury applications. It a mix of both. So if you're going to run this kind of a report, it will show you Fury with web info. Okay. So some projects, some reports we have. Okay, integration with the other third-party tools, along with any some BW kind of an reports also we have into this. So not BW, you can say it is some BI kind of a report, some basic BI we have in this PPM. Okay, so that I'll going to show you. But apart from that, if you need a more so a kind of anything, then you either you can integrate with the SAC, okay, or else you can integrate with the BW. So majority I work with the SAC tools only. So directly we are integrating with the SAC. So SAC have a greater some advantages, like they have some extra library in that whatever the resource planning wise, or maybe the cost analysis points wise, whatever we have, everything will be get integrated with this SAC tool. In that we can perform the all the our analytical reportings. So standard some reports we have, if it is not fulfilling, either you have to enhance it, or maybe you can integrate with the SAC tool. Apart from that, we can also integrate with the Microsoft Lumira applications. So it is also kind of an a BI tool we have. Okay, from that also you can integrate. It's up to the business requirement. I'm just giving an example, whichever I have worked for these projects. So that's what I'm telling.
For example, in SAC, there are two components, right? One is the analytics component, another one is the planning component. So
Right.
which one you integrated? Planning
Analytics.
component or analytics?
Analytics.
Analytics. Okay.
Okay. So these are the Fury applications and all. So you do the all sort of a planning and all. You master data creations, plannings, and everything from this Fury applications only. Only config part you have to go with the GUI. Rest all no, we have to manage from the Fury applications only. So further, do you have any questions or concerns?
Yeah, tell me something about the configuration, Madhu. Configuration is similar to our PS configuration, or how is that?
No, it is completely different from PS.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And the integration point of view, it is only integrate with only PS or any other module.
We are going to integrate with the C projects as well as the PS projects. So PS
Okay.
projects further we are integrating with our FICO, or any material relevant activities. If I wanted to perform, say like any commitment actors, that is a part of our these things only. So we are going to post the actuals. Okay, plannings we're going to do into our items or initiatives. That will get transferred to the project management, maybe C projects or PS projects. From PS projects, whatever the actual postings we're going to do, like from sales as well as any actuals cost. So that will be posted into the PS object, and same things will going to show into your PPM dashboards. Okay, any further questions?
Nothing from my side, Madhu. When you are planning to start, Madhu?
That we can discuss, because I'm okay to start from tomorrow onwards. But what are the scheduling relevant activities and all, I'm not sure. So we can discuss with Naveen, because I don't know what is the timelines you given.
Okay. So what time slot is available? Evening or morning from your
Morning only,
side?
because I am working the European based projects. So evening is not possible for me. So morning like 8:30 onwards we are free.
Okay. Okay.
Already one session is going
Okay.
on.
Okay.
So 8:30 I am free. 8:30 to till 10.
Okay.
So I
That's
try to
fine, Madhu.
prefer
Thanks.
the alternate days. So because
Mm.
no, uh, whatever we are discussing, so you can do the practice, and then if you have a concerns and doubts, so then we can resolve the next classes. Then we'll proceed further. So I am trying to prefer the alternate days, but if you are okay with the daily basis also 5 days, that is also fine for me. In between, if you miss some classes due to some reason, maybe you and me are not available, okay, maybe we can continue that into Saturdays or Sundays. If both are available, then we can continue
Okay.
Saturdays or Sundays. Okay, in 3 days or 5 days, maybe I'm not getting a time, or maybe you are not got the time, and we have
Okay.
cancelled that session. So we can no uh, do it on the Saturdays or Sundays based on the
Okay.
availabilities.
So, okay. After this course, we can become a consultant. Consultant level knowledge we can get it
Yes, definitely
after
you'll
the
get it,
course.
but yeah, only thing is that you have to practice it, because I will tell you based on my experiences. These are the scenarios. I'm not sure
Mm.
how much you are adopting, right? How much you are practicing,
Okay.
correct?
Ultimately, practice makes the
Uh,
okay
Practice
things
is the
different.
important thing, right? Otherwise, see, I can complete the course in durations, right? After that, if you're not
Mm-hmm.
practicing, then how I can say you will become a consultant,
Okay. Okay.
correct,
That
right?
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Correct. Mm.
So practice is required. Okay. Apart from practice, I would say main process you need to understand. So if you
Mm.
understand the processes, what
Mm.
exactly this PPM tool is doing, how it can be helpful for my organization or maybe upcoming projects. So if you
Mm.
understand the any model process, it's not only for the
Mm.
PPM relevant. I say any model, you have to understand those basic standard functionality plus business requirement processes, and
Oh.
this tool can be integrate or not. Sometimes no, people try to I can say like no, very straightforward, people say we need to implement the EPPM, but they don't know what is exactly the EPPM will do. Okay, so
Mm.
instead of
Mm.
this, sometimes PPM may not required. I'm just giving an example. PPM may not required. In that case, CPM may be required, right? Sometimes maybe PPM, CPM both is not required. Only PS is required. So these kind of a process, business requirement process, first we need to understand, and then we can suggest, okay, for these kind of projects or these kind of processes, these are the models is required. So first we need to understand that what is the basics of these models. Okay, then based on that you can apply into your ongoing projects or maybe upcoming projects, whatever the business cases you have.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I got it, Madhu. Let's see. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, sure.
so I'll be in touch with Naveen. Let's see. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay. I'm dropping off. Okay.
Yes, yes. So Mohan, do you have any concerns, doubts?
Nothing as such at the moment. We'll see.
Okay. Sure. So thank you for your giving time. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
Given me any.
Oh, okay. No, actually, day before yesterday, I took to some uh, introduction sessions. So I have not seen you over there. So I
Oh,
thought earlier
no,
might be we have discussed. I'm not remembering, but on the Sunday, actually, no. Hello.
no, I don't know. This is the first time. Yesterday only I got email and call.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, Mohan. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, Mohan. Good morning.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank
Morning.
you. So Naveen, are we good to start or anyone can join? Naveen, are you there in the call? Okay, we'll start then. One second, huh? Let me share my screen. Can you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. So this SAP EPPM landscape we have already discussed, but again I will discuss once again. Okay. So in this specifically landscape, like we are discussing only the single box, okay, in the single server only. But if you have a say like maybe you have implemented two different boxes, like your PPM is in a different box, and your PS or maybe the other SAP models or maybe any third party models if you have in other servers or in different box. In that case, you need this RFC connections. Okay, but in our case, like in current present server, it is in a cloud, private cloud server. Okay, in this we doesn't require any RFC connections, but I'm not sure if there might be a different cases like maybe ECC to S4 HANA migration point of view, or sometimes maybe they have implemented the PPT into the different servers and all. In that case, your RFC connections is required. Apart from that, if you need any third-party integration, say like a Primavera or a MS projects, in that case, instead of this RFC connection, you require a ECP connectors. ECP connector, as we discussed, like if you wanted to integrate with any third-party tool or a MS projects, in that case, that EPC tool is required. If not, maybe if you have implemented the BTP platforms or to with the CPI also, you can integrate with the third-party any of those Primavera or NS projects. Okay, so currently whatever we are going to discuss this EPPM business group, so we are going to discuss on a private cloud edition. Under that, we are going to discuss the PPM portfolio and project management tool. Okay. So this is one of the example, like a high level. This may not be required same cases. Okay. So first is a portfolio. Under the portfolio, we are going to define a different sort of buckets. Okay, it may be capex, opex, or customer billable kind of a projects, or there may be different cases into that. Under that, we're going to define the initiatives. Okay, initiative is called as in programs. If I want to do any R&D kind of an activities and all, in that case, I'm going to use these initiatives. Under the initiatives, I'm going to create a items. Items is the last level of the portfolio project. Okay, under that we will do the all sort of financial plannings, cost, revenue, and any budget relevant activities and all. After that, we'll do the all type of any capacity relevant plannings if you want to do that. We'll also do into the.
Madhu,
Yes, please tell me.
this is a profitability and performance management course, correct?
Sorry.
This is a PAPM, correct?
No, this is a portfolio and project management.
Oh, it is not profitability and performance management.
No,
Okay.
that's what I said. No, because we have not discussed. I'm not sure why they have given you in this link.
Yeah, sorry. Means this is not okay. I
No
am
issue.
looking.
No issue. You can drop off.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Maybe they have wrongly forwarded you the link. No
Yes,
issue.
yes, yes.
You can,
Yeah,
you
thank
can
you.
drop off. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day. Right. So under this, we'll do the all type of risk assessments and all in the initiatives or maybe in item level. If every stakeholders get approved, then we will create a one operational project. It can be C projects or it can be a PS projects. Further, if I wanted to integrate the any MS projects or any Primavera, either I can link to the project systems or directly these MS projects or Primavera can be integrated directly with the portfolio item level. Okay, so this is a very high level. In upcoming sessions, we're going to discuss individual what are the activities we need to perform. Okay, so as you are already aware, like what exactly the portfolio management will provide the comprehensive of up to date of data view. Okay, based on the your requirements of the project goals and all. So it will give you a align with your entire project portfolio with the corporate objectives. Okay, and it will give you a gain the visibilities in real time of the project cost, staffing, schedulings, and the resultings. Okay, so you can assign, deploy, redeploy of the your resources as per their qualification based on the strategic priorities and all. Okay, and as you are aware, like it is a based on the stage gate process. So every projects might have a different stages. Okay, according that we need to perform. So it might be a 3 stage gate process, it may be a 4 stage gate process, it may be a 5 stage gate process. So individual stages in the gates we can give the one-on-one, or else system is also going to provide you the single gate can be linked to the multiple phases or multiple stages also. It's up to the business or the project requirement. If you want, you can link the multiple stages or phases into the one gate. Okay, or it can be a one-on-one. So based on the your project requirement, you can configure those things, and once it has been approved by that particular gate, then you can proceed to the next level gate. In that particular gate, you do the all sort of plannings. Okay, then your stakeholder will approve into that planning stage first. After that, the execution also, whatever the execution is going to happen, then they will review. After that, they will say, okay, the first three stakeholder has been approved regarding the planning stage and all. Last stakeholder may be approved for the planning and as well as the execution both. Once they are approved, then you will proceed to the next level gate. So this is a different strategies as per the your business requirement or the project requirement you're going to develop. Okay, so here whenever we do the type of a configuration, so before we go into configuration, I will explain. So in this, whatever we are doing the configuration part of the portfolio, we will denoting everything as in a type. If you remember, like in projects, we called as a project profile, network profile, right? Instead of that, here we everything we are denoted as a portfolio type, item type, initiative types, financial types. Like that, we need to denote everything with the type. The type is nothing but a profile. Okay. So here I have one example. Okay. Can you able to see my Excel file?
Yeah.
So this is a very high level which I'm trying to explaining you. Okay, so this is a one example, then we'll go to the next level example. So this is a portfolio which is a very high level which we going to configure. Say like one company or a portfolio name you can give. It is in a Labs Private Limited. This is IT relevant one example. Okay, similarly I have another example for the manufacturing. Okay. So under that we have a different sort of in a bucket. So similarly, like our project structure, we going to define the different level of a hierarchical form. Say like a level 1 bucket, then level 2 bucket, then level 3 bucket. So level 1 is the same as my portfolio itself only. Then level 2, I might have a two different components, or maybe you can say two different type of businesses. One is the IT relevant businesses which I am trying to do. Another relevant is the business which I'm going to do real estate kind of businesses, or you can say it is a segment. So one is a IT relevant segment, another one is in a real estate kind of a segment. So under the IT level of bucket, again I have a three different type of buckets, child level bucket. One is an implementation kind of a projects, another one is a support level of a projects, another one may be a POC kind of a projects. This is all come under the my IT relevant uh, bucket. Similarly, I might be doing the real estate kind of in a business or a segment. So under that, I'll going to perform only capex relevant projects. I'm not going to do any customer relevant projects. It is only purely for the capex and maybe some office premises purpose only. I'm creating this kind of projects. Apart from that, I don't have any things, right? So under that, I might have a different gates. So I will go with the gate 1, gate 2, gate 3, gate 4, gate 5. Like that you can define, or maybe some you can define like in some concept designs. Okay. Then you can go for the other like discovery phase, initialization phases, planning phases, execution phases. Okay. Then closure phases. As per the UBS, it can be 3 gate process, it can be 5 gate process, it can be 4 stage gate process, it can be 7, 9. So as per the your business requirement or the project objective, we have to define and we have to configure this. So every gate we have a different stakeholders. So as per the your business requirement, we have to configure those stakeholders, and based on the based on the based on the your strategies, you have to apply for those statuses. So once the status has been approved, then you can proceed to the next stakeholders, like that. Once all the stakeholder has been approved, then from gate 1 to I will go with the gate 2. If they have not approved this gate 1, then I cannot do my activities into the gate 2. Right. So this is one example. This is another example. Like there is a company name like ABC. ABC Private Limited is one of the manufacturing industries. Under that I have only this bucket. Okay, so this is a L1 bucket. Under the L1 bucket again I have a some sub level buckets. So I am doing the customer projects. Another one is only capex related projects. Under customer projects also I'll only do the some sort of an implementation. So maybe some defense relevant activities, or maybe some aerospace relevant activities, whatever it may be. So only I'll do the customer based projects only. Another one is a component is a capex only. These are two segments only I have. So under that I can define the different gate strategies. It may be a G1, G2, G3, or maybe I'll define as in concept design, or maybe only development, then delivery and closure. This is a three-stage gate process. Similarly, if you go to the any larger manufacturing industries, especially like your defense industries or maybe aerospace industries, they may go the 9 stage gate process or maybe 11 stage gate process. So this is up to the business how they wanted to proceed. Any doubt, any confusion?
No, Madhu. Go ahead.
And Madhu,
Yeah, please.
basically, uh, when we define the stage gates, right? So how the reviewer will be informed by this information?
That is
For
through
example,
workflow. That is through workflow and notifications.
for
So
example,
if
for example, at stage gate one, uh, what will happen is there is a person who is going to do the initial review, another person will do the final review, another person will do the approval. Okay.
correct.
So under the each stage gate also, can we maintain the multi-level workflows?
No, it is a workflow only maintain going to single as per the standard. We're going to maintain only single workflow. Okay. So what will happen for suppose there is a review status. Okay. I'll just giving an example. First is a created mode, then we might be a preparation, then we have a review, then maybe after the review, then maybe L1 review, L2 review, L3 review, like that, right? L1 may be
Correct.
a your delivery
Correct. Correct.
managers, L2 may be a senior level VP, L3 may
Correct.
be some other VPs. Okay.
Correct.
So if first review has been done, then it will automatically the system will trigger to the next level stakeholder. The moment he has been approved, L1 has been approved, then automatically system will trigger to L2 stakeholder. Once the L2 stakeholder has been reviewed and approved, then it will automatically trigger to the L3 level. Okay, once the L3 level is completed, that means this gate has been completely done, reviews and approved by all the three stakeholders. Then you can proceed to the next gate.
Okay.
Okay, these are the standard one. But apart from that, we don't have any kind of such functionalities like if you can see into the procurement, there is a value specific. Okay, if this is a value, then these are the stakeholders. If these are the values, then these are the stakeholders. Will we get automatically triggered, right? That is a flexible workflows. If you see into the procurements or the sales orders, if I suppose if it is in a 1 million, then maybe L1, L2 approval is okay. If it is in above, then L3 is required, right? That is kind
But
of a flexible workflow.
how about if you have a same kind of approach here?
Same kind of an approach. Either you have to implement a BRF plus, okay, or means you have to develop the one custom code for that
Oh,
based on the your
correct.
budget.
Correct. Based upon the capex, so if there is any capital investment required, then if there is a multi-level workflows, we have to define the custom table. Accordingly, we
Ah,
have to trigger the workflows. Right? That's what you are saying.
Correct. Either you have to go with the BRF plus, okay, if you do not want any above relevant codings and all, then instead of that there is an SAP functional called as a BRF plus. Through BRF plus, we have to define some rules. Okay, so based on the rules, it will trigger the respective people. So if you're giving this some status relevant, okay, with the combination of a value specific, the system will trigger those respective stakeholders. It may be, I'm just giving an example. So initially you thought concept design, it's maybe a 10 million. Okay. So for 10 million, so only VP level approvals is okay. Senior VP and VP level. Okay. Means
Correct.
delivery manager, project manager, delivery manager, and VP. Okay.
Correct.
Maybe in development stage instead of 10 million, it might be a 10.5 million. You need an extra budget for this. In this VP level will not be sufficient. Maybe some senior level VPs or maybe CEO level or CFO level approval is required, right? So in this CFO level approval is required. I cannot go and update that one, right? So either you have to maintain those kind of a table like this kind of a format, or else you can go with the BRF plus. So what BRF plus will do? So if you change from 10 million to the 10.5 million, system will automatically update that CFO into this kit. Okay, the last level maybe automatically get introduced into that, and CFO, once the CFO has been approved, then only you will come to the delivery and closure gate. Otherwise, system won't allow you to proceed further.
Okay.
Right. So this kind of workflows, no, we have to develop. So we have some standard workflows, notifications, and all. But if you do not have a concern with the budget specific, then that will be work. If you say no, I have a budget specific this kind of a things, then you have to implement the this kind of a BRF plus, or maybe some kind of
Custom bit.
custom one.
Is that BRF a BTP tool platform or?
No, it is not a BTP platform. It is standard SAP only, like a flexible workflow only. Without ABAP, you can also develop for that, but you need a one consultant.
Mhm.
But it is a separate license, right? BRF plus.
That is a separate license for that.
A separate license.
Kind of in a flexible workflow only. Okay, that is based on the validations, substitutions, and value specific. There are a lot of workflows has been given, but I think that is also going to replace with this flexible workflow. So currently we don't have a kind of that much of a flexible workflows into PAs along with our PPM.
We have a flexible workflow enablement on PPM.
No, PPM doesn't have flexible workflows.
But we can
That's
define, we can extend the current the standard workflow, right?
Standard workflows, they have given some notifications and all, but that's what I'm saying. See, if it is in your case is simple, like no, you already defined the gates in specific manner, like if it is three stage gate process, then it is a 10 millions up to 10 millions only. If you are saying no, instead of this concept design, I came to understand, instead of 10 million, it might be 10.5 million with contingency plans. In that case, don't go with this three-stage gators. Instead of the directly you switch to the five-stage gate process. So there is a switching option is also available. Maybe you initially started with this three-stage gate process. You are not created any operational project. Okay, in concept design, or maybe some maybe next upcoming any gates, you come to understand. Okay, instead of 10 million, it might be a 10.5 million. So system is providing you, instead of you proceed with this three-stage gate process, you can switch to the five-stage gate process. In this five-stage process, you already mentioned the, okay, this is my criteria. So in this instant of 10 million, I'm going with the maybe 20 million or maybe 30 million. So there my stakeholder is already predefined. So if you have a fixed this kind of any stakeholders, okay, in that case you can switch from one stage gate process to the another stage gate process, maybe 3 to 5, 5 to 7, like that.
Okay.
But if you say no, in this project itself only, maybe the different gates I have. If initially we thought 10 million, but later has come to the 10.5 million, automatically stakeholders should be introduced into this. So either you have to develop that kind of a scenario, or maybe you have to introduce with the BRF plus.
Okay. Can we see it in the system, Madhu, if possible?
BRF plus, we don't have over here.
No, not BRF plus.
Yes.
Switching
Standard
one,
workflows.
Yeah, standard
Workflows I'll show you how to activate and all.
Okay.
And with respect to your basis and ABAP team is also required, because the body and everything they have to write, and the basis team has to activate. So I'll show you what are the things we need to do. Okay, then how we're going to trigger the notifications and all. So any doubt on this?
Yeah, it's clear, Madhu. From my side, it is clear.
Okay. So Mohan, do you have any concern, doubts?
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
Okay. So now we need to do the configuration. So I hope you got a credentials, right? Both of you. Hello.
No, I don't have.
Okay. Might be they're going to give today. So credentials they will provide you and the login ID and passwords and all.
Okay.
So in the projects, as we discussed, like in PS, we denoted as in a project profile, network profile, dates profile, right? Similarly, here also we need to define as in a portfolio type. Instead of a profile, we need to define as in a types. So whatever, basically we have a three different categories over here. So first is called in a dependent settings. So dependent settings is nothing but your portfolio type kind of settings. Like you can say it is a, if you're comparing with the project profile, it is similar like in a portfolio type. So in that, the header level, whatever the first level portfolio relevant activities you're going to do, that kind of a configuration we need to do into the our dependent settings. Then we have a independent settings. The independent settings is all relevant your items relevant configurations, initiative relevant configurations, along with any financial relevant configurations, or maybe capacity planning relevant configurations, or any risk assessments and all. That will come under the independent settings. And these independent settings we need to integrate with our portfolio types. Okay, similarly, like if you see the cost profile or a budget profile or settlement profile, whatever we try to do differently, right? That we again we are integrating with the project profile. So similarly, also the dependent settings is nothing but your portfolio type. Then you are going to create a independent settings. That independent settings we have to integrate on this. Then we have a common functionalities. So common functionality is nothing but if I wanted to integrate with the any third party systems or maybe ERP, our PS is also come under this separate this thing, but is also they are treating as an ERP because this portfolio and project management is not completely owned by SAP. Okay, so here whatever the above relevant code and all, it is not completely applicable over here. It is completely based on the web Pro applications. Okay, even though Fury based application we're going to run it, but it is completely based on the web Pro. So that's the reason we don't have any T codes on this. Only background configuration we need to do, and every master data along with the business transaction data, everything we have to manage from the Fury web Pro applications. Okay, so in this case, whatever this PPM, portfolio and project management, in this all your portfolio relevant activities and the C projects is a part of this portfolio and project management tool. And if I wanted to integrate with the our SAP S4HANA main ERP, say like a PS, FICO, MM, SD, okay, or PLM, so that is part of our S4HANA ERP core modules. Even though it is come under the ePPM suite, but still it is a PPM, it is not completely owned by the SAP. Okay, that's the reason we need a integration with this. For that we come under the common services. In that, whatever the your status relevant activities or attribute synchronizations, here we called everything as an attribute. In PS we called as in fields, but here we need to call as an attributes. So the attribute synchronization, like your project IDs, or maybe the schedules, dates, statuses, or authorization keys. Okay, so if I wanted to integrate, then in that case we need to do the common functionality configurations. So these three are the major high level things. Under that, the sub level configuration we need to perform. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yes.
if you don't mind, can you go through the scroll and explain the same thing?
Yes. So theoretically, I'm just
Because
explaining. I will go to the here. Yeah.
because we are unable to catch up what exactly you're saying.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. So see here we're getting a portfolio management, then the project
Project
management,
management.
which is nothing but a C projects. Then this is a common functionalities. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
So in this we have a global settings. Under the global
Okay.
settings, we have to perform the independent settings and the dependent settings. So this
Okay.
dependent settings is nothing but my portfolio type. Whatever the
Okay.
portfolio I'm going to create, like you can compare with the project profile.
Correct.
Okay. So here I have
Mhm.
to perform all those relevant configurations. Later on, whatever the in this independent settings, all your item relevant configurations, initiative relevant configurations, financial relevant configurations, capacity relevant configurations, okay, some user specific status relevant configurations. Every sort of configuration I have to perform in this independent settings.
Okay. Okay. Mhm.
So these independent setting I have to further link to this dependent settings.
Okay.
Okay. Similarly, here is the common functionality. In this common functionalities, we have to define the object attribute synchronizations, like your authorization synchronizations, status relevant synchronizations, attribute synchronizations. Attribute synchronization nothing but whatever the project code you're going to perform into initiatives or item level, that same will flow into either a C projects or maybe PS projects. Okay. Similarly, status, whatever the status you're going to define, say like a created, release, echo, all these kind of statuses, standard statuses we have into the PPM item. The same standard status will go and set to your PS also, because whatever you are managing from this, everything will be synchronized over there. So from PPM item, if you're releasing some WBSS or maybe a phases, so automatically it will also get released over there. If you're closing something, it will also get closed. If you're putting some tech over here, it will also get tech over. So these kind of attributes, no, we have to synchronize. Similarly, whatever the ACLs we have, access control lists or authorization keys you're going to maintain over here, the same ACLs will go and sit to the your PS projects or a C projects. Okay, so those kind of object links integrations that we need to perform. Apart from that, if I wanted to integrate with a third party, say like a Primavera or maybe MS projects, in that also some object link configuration we need to do over here with respect to integration with your either a ECP connector or maybe your CPI. Okay, so slowly we'll go step by step. So first we need to configure this portfolio project. So you have to come to this portfolio managements. Okay, portfolio and project management. Then you need to go to the portfolio management and come to the global settings. Okay, so first we need to perform the global settings, then we'll perform the this project types and all. Okay, so what is the global setting? So global setting is nothing but like SAP was given you some predefined some attribute activations. Okay, so these attribute activations sometimes will be activated, sometimes may be deactivated. So as per the your business requirement or a project requirement, you need to perform these activities. Okay, in whenever you try to implement, similarly like a BC sets. So whenever the BC sets is required, we're going to activate. Similarly here, instead of BC sets, we're going to say called as an attribute settings. So as per the your business requirement, you need to activate these attributes or maybe deactivate these attributes, because sometimes it may be required for those kind of projects. It may not be defined for the those projects. So SAP say it is a globally, means whatever the configuration you're going to activate over here, the services, it can be applied to all your projects. All your projects in terms of initiatives, items, buckets, and all, it will be applied to the all of those bucket relevant configurations part, or maybe items, or maybe initiatives. Okay, but if you say no, instead of that, I wanted to go with the individual item level itself only. That is a local level. Instead of a global level activations or a deactivation, you can do that is a local level. Local is nothing but particularly that items or initiatives only. But if you activating or deactivating something from this global settings, that means entire your portfolio items or initiatives or a bucket will be applied these settings.
Can you open inside and show me?
Yes,
What are those?
I'll open. Okay. So these are the some of the settings which is provided by the SAP. These are the areas. Okay, so this is called a capacity management, master switch, HR integrations. Okay, some user managements. Okay, user interface settings and all. So you will get from 01 to 012. These are the additional features which we created. This is a custom one. So if you wanted to give some custom relevant activities and all, then you have to perform over here first. Then after that, you need to take it into local level whether you need these services or not. Okay. For suppose if I go to this general default value settings. Okay. Under that, some of the services. Some of these services has been activated. Some of the services has been not activated. Okay, and for suppose like if I take this example, this original language. Okay, so here as you can see it has been deactivated. By default it is a deactivated. Okay, so by default it is deactivated. So if you wanted to activate, then as per the SAP standard, what they are saying, don't do any configuration over here. Instead of that, you can overwrite it. So how you going to overwrite? You have to take it this as an settings like 007. Okay, the area is in a 50 007 is your area, and this is your attribute or a that functionality that you have to take it, and you have to put it as an X. Then the system will get automatically activated. If nothing else given, then that means it is in a deactivate mode. Okay.
So,
If you put an
for
M
example,
means
if you want to change something, you have to create a custom line item again. Get 007.
no custom line item. See what you need to do. For suppose if you wanted to activate this, okay. So what SAP was saying, don't do anything over here. You need to go back. You have to override these settings. Okay, so click on the new entries. Okay, whatever the areas you have, that areas you have to select. Whatever the names you have, that relevant services that you need to take it the services, and here you have to activate or deactivate.
Okay.
Okay, so for suppose like the same example. So these are the relevant switches which I am activated. Okay. So in whenever you try to implement these switches, maybe not you will not get these options. So these is the options which is required for our project relevant. So that's the reason I have taken it. But in when you try to implement, it's not mandatory like all these switches is required for you. So as per the your business requirement, you can activate or deactivate this one. So if you wanted to activate or deactivate, what you need to do, for suppose like if I have taken right this 50. Okay, so what I did, I have activated this one. If I want to deactivate this one, then I'll just remove this X, then that means it will be deactivated. So what is the use case of this? I'll show in the use case. Sorry. So see, if I wanted to create any portfolio, okay, so here I'll get only portfolio type. I'm not getting that attribute, okay, or the services. So if I'm activating that language relevant, so here I'll get that language relevant options. So if you go to the individual dashboards, like when
Can
you
you
try
show
to
that
create
one?
a,
Can you activate and show
I'll
here?
yeah, yes, I'll add it you. I'll just explaining, okay. So if I'm going inside into this portfolio type, under that that screen, maybe some fields you need to either activate or you need to deactivate, or maybe some extra additional services you might be required. So that is come under this global settings. So these are the some standard settings which is provided by the SAP. Okay, so as per the your business requirement, we need to activate or we need to deactivate. So I'll explain you which are the things I have activated, which are the things I have not activated. Okay. So here, whatever the settings I override it.
And one thing, Mohan, Madhu, in the
Hmm.
set global settings, we are not allowed to do any changes, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to do something, we have to do it in the override settings.
Override settings only. Why? Because of, suppose you are the consultant or something. Maybe you're going to leave the organizations. So if I am the new one and I cannot go and check individual those settings, right?
Okay, got it.
So global settings. Instead of that, if you override those settings, I'll come to over here. It might be required, it might not be required. So I can deactivate or I can activate it later on if it is not required. Similarly, maybe some custom development you did. Okay, here say like an additional functionalities. Okay. So some custom relevant activities you have done. Okay. And again, you created some sort of services. Maybe it is relevant for the item level or maybe initiative level. Okay, so that may be required or may not be required. Okay, so additional like the flexible workflow kind of a things, right? So that we are trying to keep it on additional features over itself only. Then you can write some programs under this. We can write this. These are also programs, right? It's nothing but the programs. So if you are activating or deactivating these kind of switches, these names, whatever he is given, this is a different nothing but your programs. So these program can be activated, can be deactivated.
Okay, got it.
Right. So for suppose if I'm activating this one, okay, what I need to do, I need to go to the override these settings. So by default it has been deactivated. Now I want to activate this switch. So here I'm trying to keep it as an X. And remember one thing, whatever the SAP was defined, so it is not like that every time you're going to keep it as an only X. Sometimes it may be yes or no. Sometimes maybe some numeric digit is required. Sometimes maybe only some zero kind of things you have to mention, or sometimes you have to mention some day or YPDs like this also you need to mention. So whatever the standard program SAP was given, as per that only we need to create this kind of things. It is not like every time you trying to put only X or M or maybe some other numeric digits and all. No, as per this you have to check what they have mentioned. Okay, so if I am activated this one, then what will be happen? So if I go to here, so if I am creating a portfolio, as you can see, I am getting this original language settings.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, but this is applied to the all type of a portfolio. See here
Okay,
I have a these many portfolio types I have. Okay, it is applied to all these portfolio types. But if you
okay,
say no, it should be applied to particular this Amazon services only. In that case, don't activate something into that global settings. You have to
okay,
override those settings into local settings.
okay. But Madhu, basically, in any implementation, whatever the switches enabled by SAP, that might be enough, right? Or else do we activate any other switches as per your experience?
We need to activate some of the switches. Okay,
Can you show us what are those
I'll
switches?
explain one by one. Okay,
Mm.
whatever I have activated, right? Because some of the switches is activated for the financial relevant services. Some of the
Okay,
switches I have activated for the capacity relevance. Okay, once we
okay.
go to the particular stage, then I will explain why I'm
Then,
activated, why I've
that
deactivated
is
this one.
correct. Yeah, that is correct. Mm.
Right. So you can select the any of these kind of portfolio types, and according that you have a these are the languages. So these languages also I have configured. Okay, for that again we have to come back. Okay, then here you have to specify those text languages. Okay, so if you go to the new, here the some standard SAP has provided these many languages. Okay, these are the languages is applicable for the those text. So text is nothing but whenever you try to creating the any portfolio, during that time you have to give some description, notes and all. In that case, whatever the text you mention, okay, based on that text will be treated as an original language. Okay. Later on, if somebody wanted to change that language, that they can change it. For suppose like initially I have created a English language specific, all I have done. But maybe you are the user from maybe some German. So in German specific language, you writing something. Okay.
Okay.
So
Mm.
the persons who those who going to come into your projects and they activated those kind of projects and all, so you passing some information to them. It will not convert you fields. See, like whenever you implemented this SAP, that time you have to select the some language, right? It might be English, it might be German and all. That attribute will not want to change. It will change you only the text. So here 44 language is provided. These are the languages can be converted that into the text. Okay. So here I have taken some of these languages. So let's say like a Hindi, Arabic, English, French and Russian. So I have to select any one of these only. So I am taking default as an English only. But apart from that, if I wanted to change any other language, that is also possible. So how it can be helpful for us, like if I go to here, so suppose like maybe I have taken this my project, okay, and just assume like maybe some English I have taken by default. Now see, by default I'm getting this as an English language. If I'm converting from English to some Hindi, then automatically it will disappear. Okay, maybe you're going to write some in Hindi. I'm just giving an example. Okay, so okay, if I'm going to convert as an English, then this is showing you this is for only test. Okay, if I'm going to convert as an Hindi, then it will show you like this. So it can be applied for the any of your description relevant activities, or maybe some notes if you wanted to perform. You wanted to pass on some informations, then also it can be performed. Okay, the moment you save, it will save this and it will come under the existing node. The moment you convert from English, okay, so you can write it over there, but it will not going to erase. Once you enter, then it will be gray out mode. So for this kind of a text relevant pass-ons on informations and all, we try to use this kind of languages, but it will not going to convert these attribute names, say like in names, ID, explanations and all. This will not going to convert.
So what does it mean by explanation, Madhu?
This one you can give any short text.
Okay, short text. Okay.
Some short text you can provide it. Some descriptions, what purpose you are creating this portfolio. So that kind of information you can provide it, or you can pass on the information on these notes. We'll discuss this part. So I'm just explaining why this language we are creating. What is the use case of this language? Similarly, here the other switches also be available as per the your business requirement. You can activate, deactivate, and all. So as you can see, I can tell you this ID. I'm just creating it manually, text and all. In standard SAP, because I've activated that switch, so that's the reason it is coming. Otherwise, system will give you one numeric digit, some 18 to 24 digit of numeric digit. If you're not going to apply that one, then automatically that numeric digit will be applied. Okay. So here you have to activate those default settings first, and then you go further for this text languages. Okay, this is which may be required, which may not be required. If it is not required, then don't activate this default settings. I required, that's the reason I have activated this global settings under this 50. Okay, then I have also configured this text languages, right? We will discuss the employee format. Okay, so again we will, when the integration is required, during that time again we will discuss. Okay, but briefly I'll tell you what exactly this. So country specific, you have to define some format. So this format is required, maybe whatever the portfolio level or item level or maybe initiative level you creating the projects, you require some print. Okay, those, if you try to print those things, then it will show you with name specific along with the address specific, some format has been provided by the SAP. This is purely for the information sake as well as a printing requirement. If you have a such kind of things, so if you can see like in I'm just giving an example. Like if you can see like in our form 16, whatever the form 16 in taxation we are getting, right? In that by default your company level, the CFO level, or maybe senior VP level, the names will be get appearing automatically, right? During the print form it will come, right? Also might
Correct,
be you're
correct.
seeing something into maybe some PR or a PO, or maybe something like your sales order, right? In the print form will come. Under the print form, there is a signatory will be there, right? So those kind
Digital
of
signature.
digital signatures and all. In that case, you have to configure these requirements if you have a such type of requirement. So country specific, you can define this kind of things. For suppose if I go to the US, so these are the required for me, like the address is required for me, the whoever the person was there, and address is required for me. What is the first name and last name, and maybe some middle names I can provide. These are the three information is required for me. Rest other thing is may not be required. So purely this is for the information sake only. But apart from that, when we try to integrate with the HR model, there is some person responsible rules and all. In that case also, this names will be get appear because those are the person responsible for those items or maybe initiatives. Okay, and the system will trigger the notifications or the workflows to them first. Then what are the other status configurations you're going to develop? Then it will trigger to the respective stakeholders. So conversions, maybe if you wanted to do some conversions, that you can provide these conversions, and the constant is nothing but fixed value, like up to 40 characters it will support. Okay, alphanumeric keys. Apart from that, you can reduce like maybe only 10 characters or maybe 20 characters only, that you can mention over here.
What is conversion method?
Conversions, some conversions, say maybe some dates conversions if you want to do. So what it will take you as an STD. Standard will take you STD, but you converting as in a dates.
Okay.
Okay, so for that in SAP we need to write a separate program for that. So here system is giving you some sort of conversions. So here is the date format we have, right? So system will take you as a standard, like where is that where is the date? How come dates is not showing? Here the date format is there, okay, but I don't know why it is not coming. Maybe this is for this server. So the date formats is there, okay. In the date format, if you wanted to convert, so it will convert you that formats. So standard it will take you as an STD, okay. Then you can convert as an just you can mention as in a day.
Madhu, is there any reference client we have, like a golden client?
No, this
So
is
that we see
a
the standard settings.
standard settings. We don't have anything currently.
No, see, the problem here is multiple people will be trialing, do the simulations over here. And if somebody changes global settings or anything, or to change it what is originally, so don't we require one client? Of course,
No,
the
they
organizations wise, it could be like a display only.
no, they
Okay.
have a zero zero
And
client. So every 6 months to 1 year, no, they will refresh those things. This is for the training sake only, right? So don't have a, they don't have the
that's
development
the
time for
issue.
that.
See, if you are refreshing, then I won't be able to know what is originally given by SAP.
So in the whatever the SAP, even though you won't get these detail into the PPM or the CPM, that is you have to activate the best practices. So they have a one client that
Madhu,
is called a best
Madhu,
practice.
Although the question is, when we go for the greenfield implementation, right?
Yes.
In the greenfield implementation, do we have these references already in the system?
No, you won't get those references. Further, you have to activate the best practice.
Okay, we have to activate the best practices. Okay.
You have
So
to
once we
activate the best practices. Then, not only for the PS, not only for the PPM, all the PPM relevant, CPM relevant, or PS relevant, you have to activate that one.
For
Even for the
example,
FICO also, you
I'm
won't
asking
get,
the
right?
same one. Yeah, I'm asking the same thing. Like, if
They
you
have
have activated
they
already,
have a
one
best
client should be
practices.
there for reference purpose, and only display authorization should be there, so that any, suppose you are saying here conversion can be done. If suppose the reference client is having some conversions already been done, then we can go and see that, okay, how it functions and what does that look like. So instead of doing our simulations, see, otherwise what happens, every time everybody is working, or even sometimes what happens, if I'm working at item level, somebody goes back and change the global settings, then my system behavior would be different. That's a danger from this kind of testing environments.
Correct, but in this server, it's not like happen, because they're not
No, why
going to
can't we
share.
ask? Why can't we ask this guy like his name?
That is an actually administrative activities. I cannot comment
No,
on
correct,
that.
correct.
But,
No, you cannot comment. But what I'm saying that if I wanted to see a reference client, so that I can go
no,
back and refer
they
anytime.
actually, for FICO, PS, and some other relevant activities, they have some best practices. Okay, but that best practices, even though I don't have an access, that is for the FICO, treasury, some SG, some other PS relevance, and all they have. So PPM, CPM, they don't have any this kind of they doesn't activate it.
They should do that actually. Naveen, we should ask Naveen. See,
Activations
I'll tell you the
also
practical
no.
example. I'll tell you the practical example.
Yes.
I'm working at item level. Certain behavior I'm simulating.
Correct.
Somebody goes back into the global settings and he tickles something. Then my
Correct.
behavior will not be reflected.
Correct.
But still, it is
Understand.
okay. We can play around in this client. But any given point in time, I should go back to see what is the originally SAP given best practices client. Let's say you can call it a 000 or 888 something, 800, whatever it may be. That reference has to be there. And then you can always refresh this one once in 3 months, 1 year, whatever it may be. So that is the client which should be. Otherwise,
I completely understand. But for, as you know, the best practices activations also no. It'll means there is some financial activities will be involved into that, commercial activities. It's not free of cost.
whatever it may be, see, whatever it may be, see, from our side, we should ask. Commercial parties, we don't care. See, at the end of the day, you are not getting benefits out of the system. It's no point in giving even $1 to them also.
Okay.
Correct.
No issue.
End of the day, we are spending money, so there should be some. Say, this I'm looking at for the past 30 years in Amirpet. Okay.
Okay.
The same problem happens. At least one golden client has to be there with a display authorization. Whatever cost.
So that is a 0 client they have, but they don't have any best practices under that. I think some 5,000 or 500 client was there. In that, some best practices they have activated. But
This is
that
what
is purely for.
If you remember, Madhu, I told this is the problem with this kind of servers. Earlier,
No, but
also 5 years back,
I can assure you, as compared to the other servers, these servers are very good. Why? Because of they are going to give only for those students, those who enroll these courses. They are not giving this service to the other persons. The others, if you go like 500,000 rupees bucks, they will going to give you a 2 months or 3 months access. But here it won't happen like that.
No, even in this case also, suppose myself and Venu are working parallelly, and I'm working at global settings changing, and if he is working at a local level setting configuration, or maybe the simulations he is trying to do, the expected result will not come. in regular organizations, companies and all, it will be strictly monitored. That's a different case. But here, everybody is free to do any changes.
Any changes.
That has
That
to
is
be
I
done. It has
understand.
to be done that way. But
That is I
to
understand.
refer that, there should be some client, there is a client or whatever client you give a display authorization, so that we can go back and see that, okay, at the time of installation of this service software, what was the best practices already
Initially,
given?
actually, initially as I've seen, like 2023 server, okay, they have given this kind of an authorizations and all to 00 client, even though for best practices also. But some people, as you know,
client copy, right? It's a client copy, right? See, originally when they install, they should give a, for example, this is 13th batch. For 13th batch, they should create one client, separate client, give a client copy, something like that. Or if one client is there for the all 13 batches, good. But originally one client should be there. You can explain this complexity to Naveen.
Correct, but this is actually a private cloud, right? So
whether they take it up.
Madhu, what Mohan is saying is, let's have another client in this demo, okay, and that is the reference client, and whatever you and we are practicing, right, we can do it in this client, so that if for example there are certain changes we have done it, but something goes wrong. So what we can do is we'll go to the reference client and we'll see the settings, and accordingly we'll come back and we'll do the settings here. So whatever Mohan saying is correct. Actually, we need to have some reference line where we can see the best practices.
okay, I'll discuss with Naveen for this, okay, because I'm not an authorized person to tell all those things, but still I will discuss with him. So it's up to him call, like what exactly he wanted to do, right?
Correct. It's a practical problem. See, that's what I'm telling. End of the day, if they just give us a box, which is nothing but like a child's play, not going to serve our purpose.
Correct.
See, in global settings, you have activated certain things. But by default, SAP must have given certain defaults, which are activated, which are some are not activated. I wanted to see the screenshot of that first of all, how it looked like. Depending on my my project, what I'm going to do, I will activate it if required.
Okay. Sure. So I'll discuss with him. Then he will take a call. Okay. I'll pass on your information to him. Yeah.
Please.
One more
please.
One more question. For example, there is a customer who implemented PS already. Okay.
PS.
See, they already implemented PS. Let's see the one scenario. They have already implemented the PS. Okay.
Okay.
After 2 years or after 4 years or after 6 years. Okay. Once they are migrated to S4HANA, once it is stabilized, the PS solution is stabilized.
Your voice is bit low actually.
1 second.
Now it's okay. Please.
Okay. After some time, they wanted to implement the EPPM.
Okay.
So in this case, if they wanted to implement EPPM,
so ECC to they wanted to migrate to the S4HANA, then they wanted to implement PPM.
For example, they migrated to S4HANA. Okay. So now after some time, they wanted to implement even EPPM also. Okay. In this case, because already PS is there in S4HANA, they are already using it. So once you implement EPPM, if you want to implement EPPM, then how they wanted to do the implementation of EPPM? Do they have all these default settings in the box?
No, some of the things you need to activate, some of the things you need to deactivate as per your requirements.
So no, what I'm trying to say is, whatever the best practice content which you are showing there, right? This will be available in the new system when they are trying to.
You won't get.
But then how they have to where they have
to. That's the reason we are activating the best practices, SAP best practices. So whenever you'll get a S4HANA box, okay, So we are going to activate the S4HANA best practices in terms of different modules like FSU, MM, SD, okay, PS,
No,
similarly like
that is
PPM,
that
CPM.
that is that is for training is fine, Madhu. For
Not for
example,
training. If you go to the any organization implementations, okay, so we will do the best practices activations for that. Based on that only, we will conduct the workshops
so for example,
because
I'll give a case.
client.
I'll give a case. Okay, the customer is already implemented the SAP. They are happily running the PS, PP, MM, and the FICO modules. Okay. For example, let us say they were in 2022. Okay. Now they wanted to implement the EPPM on top of the PS. So now in this case, so once they enable the EPPM, the stack, will all these default values comes into the picture or not?
No, it won't come.
Then how can consultant can do the configuration
So
without
based on
having?
his practices and all, otherwise you have to activate the best practice.
But this activation will impact the PS module.
Why? It will not impact, no?
It is standalone system. That's what you're saying.
No, it is not standalone system. First of all, you should understand EPPM. EPPM is consisting of 5 modules, as I said: PS, PPM,
Correct.
CPM, Innovation Management, and the ECP connectors. So by default, these 3 licenses will be activated automatically, like your PS, PPM, and CPM. Okay.
Okay.
Now in this case, EPPM, maybe PS relevant activities, configuration, everything you are did. Okay. Now the question comes, if you wanted to implement the PPM.
Correct.
Okay, in that case, system is activated, but you won't get these kind of references over there. So if
Okay.
you want the references, okay, then you have to activate the best practices into that particular server, or maybe that particular client. It can be
Okay.
a different client, it can be a same client. Generally people try to prefer some different client, say like 400, 500, some client they will be there. In that they will activate all the best practices, or maybe some of the peoples may go with some sandboxes into that, then they can activate this. Once you activate it, they do all these kind of settings, whatever that you want, everything you can test it into the sandbox. After that, you come to the development client or a golden client.
But in the
Madhu,
golden
this
client,
particular client, what we are seeing, is this best practices implemented or not?
No, for best practices, we have a different client. I'll show you. That is, I think, 500.
this one is golden client, whatever you are showing.
This is a, for you can say it is a golden client only. But we don't have an access for that.
But my question is, in the golden clients, do we have those default values?
See, this is where is that? This is a 200, no? I
200.
can show. So this is your best practices has been activated over here. But this is for not your PPM or CPM relevant. This is all the financial logistic like PP, PM, some PS, these kind of things they have activated. That's what he said me.
But my
Oh, that
question
means
is, in the
they
golden,
didn't activate EPPM for this best practices.
Only PS part was there. PPM, CPM we don't have.
Why?
Madhu, what I'm trying to say is, when you are configuring the PS, right, we are going to
Yes.
copy the 000 item, and accordingly we are going to set up the PS solution, right? In the same way, EPPM also, do we have those default values?
We don't get, that's the reason I'm getting, right? I'm saying you multiple times, you won't get those best practices implementations and all. It's not like ECC, whatever the standard SAP will going to provide you, right? So by default you might get, I'm not sure for that, okay, but 2023 server, whatever I have seen, we don't get anything. So we have to activate those functionalities.
Okay, how can we activate
Right.
those functionalities?
This is called a best practices. See here they have activated 200, 400, right? Individual module specific you can activate. Say like you are implementing the FICO, MM, SD, PS, PPM. So those kind of any best practices you can activate.
No,
You can means
for the core modules, you have a master client, From the master client, we copy the default values into the golden client. From there, we are going to set up the different modules. Okay. In the same way, for EPPM, do we have
No, we won't
master
get.
client copy?
We don't. We have a master client copy like say 100 to 000 like that, but you won't get all these
Default
functionality
value.
which default value which are configured right currently. So that you won't get.
Okay, got it.
Whatever the standard SAP was giving, that is only I can tell you. Apart from that, if
Okay,
you need a some kind of
okay,
best practices, yeah.
let me know what standard SAP has given. Can you show a few things?
The thing I have activated all those things in this server. No, in this server, whatever you're saying in the sandbox relevant activities, this is for actually training purpose, right? So for the training purpose, system has given you some of the projects.
No, this is fine, Madhu. For practice, this is fine. Look at the consulting point of view. So tomorrow, myself and Mohan will go and implement the EPPM solution, right? So when we are trying to implement EPPM solution, if they given the blanket client, how can we configure all those default values? How can we remember? There should be a master client reference, right?
See, they are
The way
going to
how
take
we
it from
implement the
copy of 00 client only.
correct,
But
correct.
in that case, you won't get this default configurations and all. Because
Okay.
this is we are using our educational purpose and all, so we got some projects. Okay, initially we got some projects, some 4 or 5 projects we have, some IT relevant projects, some ONGC
Okay,
relevant
got it.
projects and all. But
Okay.
in real time, whatever you try to implement, you won't get that. For that, what SAP was suggesting, you activate the best practices as per the your project requirement or a business requirement, specifically model specific. It's not like
Got
I
it.
think
everything
Madhu,
we have
this
to activate.
client 400, Madhu, I think this client 400 best practices fully activated. That does not mean EPPM is not, I mean, like a PPM
No,
is
it
not
is
activated.
no. Even though I have asked them, so even I also required some CPM relevant activities and all, but still it has not been activated. Okay.
Where exactly you activate, Madhu?
What?
This content, the best practice content, where exactly you activate?
We need to give only our relevant fields and all to the basis team. Basis team will going to activate.
Okay.
Okay. Also, this is sometimes no. If the basis teams is aware, then they can activate it. If not, then we have to approach to the SAP itself only. SAP will activate as per maybe some German relevant or maybe some Spanish relevant. Majority cases, German relevant best practices is available.
Okay. Got it, Madhu. Thank you.
Maybe once you get some time, 400, I have my own doubts that it's already been implemented. I mean, like activated all best
No,
practices.
I've already discussed these points. Okay, so they have not activated. I need something into CPM relevant. Okay, for Microsoft Lumira applications and all because facing some challenges, but still it has not been activated. So as per him, like it is in a finance relevant and logistical relevant, along with some maybe some success factor relevant. So those kind of things they have activated, and
Understood.
yeah.
The moment if you open this global customization, some global settings, some are having X, and dollar. We don't know whether it's been activated by you or SAP best practices driven. That's the whole question.
No, these are the settings which I have only activated. Okay, the override, whatever the override settings has been provided, right? So this I have activated. as per our requirement. So individually, whenever we go, I'll explain whatever things I have activated. I'll let you know.
So you mean to say all these overwritten ones are done by you?
Ah. Okay.
No, this is one node only. Similarly, there could be many nodes.
Many things will be there. So these are the some of the things.
That's the reason we always need one reference client.
I do completely understand, but this is the reality which I know.
Yeah,
Right.
Anyway, we will check it another.
So, but in reality, like whenever you try to implement, try to activate the best practices. Okay. So that or else, even I think if you are aware, like in for SAP PS, even though for EPPM, we doesn't have any BPDs also. If you go to the maybe I don't know if you have an S user IDs, you can check under that R&D. Okay, so you won't get any best practices like your BPDs over there. Other model, if you go, there are business processes, BPDs is available in even in standard SAP, right? But for EPPM, we don't have any references. I'm not sure whether you have checked or not. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah.
You can go
So
ahead.
have you checked for in the under the engineering? Have you checked any BPDs?
I didn't get chance to.
For if you want, you can check it. So under that BPDs, under that engineering or R&D, you won't get any BPDs or business functional flow for EPPM, including your PS model. But if you go to the FICO, SD, MMs and all, they have already some BPDs is available.
Yeah.
Right. So these are the some standard units of measure which is provided by the SAP. Okay. So as per our business requirement or project requirement, we're going to use this units of measure. Okay. So these are the standard one only. We are not touching anything on this. So we will discuss later on what are the workflow settings and all. Currently at this stage, it is not required. But when we do configurations of our items and initiative level, then I will explain what is the workflow settings we need to activate and how the notification or the workflow will get triggered. Okay, at this point we doesn't require, but later stage I will explain once again. And here we need to get these details from our FICO consultant. What is the financial year variant is required? Okay, so in this case we are using the K4 with the US specific. Okay, but in your case might be a V3 or maybe some other financial year variant might be required. So this configurations and everything was done by our FICO team. Okay, so you might be aware of this financial year variant, right? What exactly the financial variants?
Yeah, is it the duplicate of like what they do it in the FICO?
It is the same only. It is not duplicate. Whatever the config you are doing there, same thing will be reflect over here.
If at all, if suppose FICO is already been implemented, like when you said, then do we need to do it again here?
No. We are not going to do anything. Whatever that they do configurations, the same configurations it will be appear over here. Only we need to take it from what is that financial year variant.
So when
So
whatever they did
similarly,
it in the S4HANA, it will appear over here.
correct. So similarly, like if you do the any settlement profiles or maybe result analysis, same configuration appearing in your CO model and same configuration appearing in your PS model also, right? Same way here also the same things because it is under the same box only. Okay, So currently we're going to use the K4 versions. The rest all it is required for when we do our financial configurations and all. Then this interest calculations, okay, this reference interest rates and is required. At this point of it is not required for us. So till now, whatever the config we have understand, this is only for the high level global settings. After that, we need to configure for the dependent settings. So can we conclude today and we can start tomorrow onwards what is the dependent settings and all, so that you will also, I think today you will get these credentials. Not sure, I will discuss with Naveen. So once you get the credential, then we can start from the dependent settings.
That's fine, Madhu.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a great day. I'm talking.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks.